Hello everybody and welcome here. My name is Samu. I will be the host for today. I think it's a little bit off plan, sorry for that, but now we are here. We are finally here for the Division 5 Grand Finals. Congratulations to yesterday's winner of Division 7 and Division 6 finals. Great. Especially I hear Division 6 finals were insane to watch, so make sure you catch up on Svartalheim against Neo Unity there. And on Division 7 we had Mission Unknown against Lagomorova. Thank you all four teams so far for playing, and today we will have Division 5, and for that I will be joined by Josh. Welcome.
Oh, and yes, indeed, today we have a clash between Fat Asgard and a Mighty Minion army. Both teams with quite a bit of history, both teams with not a lot of success in the grander scheme of things, but finally one of them will get their chance and get those medals. The teams do feature a lot of very interesting picks in terms of map picks as well, so I'm hoping for an interesting series.
And talking about maps, let's jump over there.
Let's do so indeed. So,
Looking
we
at the
do.
maps, we do have the left side banned by the team in red, Fat Asgard, banning out Altrak, passing Garden of Terror to really big maps, a lot of macro play to be done on those, and on the right hand side we do see two blue bands on Dragonshire and two Spider Queen by the mighty Minion army. Where do we go for map one?
Dragonshire is also seemingly a big macro map, but Toon's Spider Queen is actually pretty small and fighty. However, for map number one, it hurts me to say, but it appears that those teams have chosen to pick Infernal Shrines as their first fighting place. Which is sad to me because I really came in hopeful, considering that both teams actually only picked Shrines once. As in, only one Shrines picked by those teams in the entirety of the season. Which sounds pretty insane to me, but oh well, here we are now. Infernal Shrines, a map that I think everyone is able to play to some degree, so
Hopefully. Indeed, Infernal Shrines, map number one. Very standard map, basic map, usually played in very often in launch. Was the most played map for most of the divisions. And yeah, so everyone should know how to play the map. But there were two interesting picks. Josh, you mentioned earlier to me.
oh yes, indeed. So there are a few things that I would not necessarily consider meta in those teams. For example, Mighty Minion Army really like to dabble in dark arts while picking Hammer. They have 4 picks on her and 100% win rate, but it has been banned 12 times against them throughout the season, so the enemy teams might know something about it already. While on the side of Fat Asgard, they do seem to be Mephisto enjoyers, and in fact, when Mighty Minion Army and Fat Asgard were playing each other in the regular season in Week 5, in all 3 games, Mighty Minion Army have actually banned out Mephisto themselves, so is a thing that I do not expect to show up throughout the series, but is definitely an interesting hero to go back and look through their games.
That's also a thing why it's quite interesting for me to see Infernal Shrines first, because both those heroes are really good at Infernal Shrines. And if it would be later into the series, teams might have forgotten about those bans. But for now, for the first series, they will probably still ban out those two. As usually when it comes later into a series, especially best of 5 series, are very common for that, is that the teams will evolve their own meta for the series itself, and therefore will start banning different stuff than what they usually ban. So it's gonna be very interesting to see, because I don't know, suddenly both teams prioritize Reyna, and then Reyna is first pick or ban even. So, you know.
I don't think I would go that far for this particular game, but yeah, I'm definitely expecting a few bans to shift around. So
in general, there's also like people say sometimes, it's a dead game, it won't get any patches anymore, but there still changes, and you always see it in the grand finals of a big tournament or something where suddenly a Tyrell pops up and seems to be one of the best heroes. Well, nothing was changed on him in the last 2 years or something. But yeah, let's see. As we are about to go into game number 1, we just have some small issues, but then we are good to
yeah,
go.
we are
in the meantime, keep in
mind
to sign up. Keep in mind to sign up for the next season. Season 19 is already on its way. Signups are open on the website. Sign up in the chat. Eric has used the command already a few times, so you can also check it out there. You can sign up alone as a free agent and you get put in with our free agents, or you will get filled up with a team which did not sign up with 5 people, but rather like 3 or 4, you know, just to fill up and have 5, or you go up to 9 people in your team. So keep in mind to sign up for that. We also have the off season currently running. There we will soon have signups open for an ARAM tournament, which will be
that's a classic. The ARAM
after
tournament.
the other ones. But I'm not sure. I have to do everything for that as well still. So, but yeah, then we are good to go for that. But yeah, it seems like everyone is ready, so we are able to jump into game number 1 in just a second. There we go.
Infernal Shrines. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing to add on top of your normal draft usually for this map is Wave Clear and Shrine Clear, because there's honestly not a lot of sticking points for this map because everyone knows how to play it. It's, I think, perceived as the classic and as a default Heroes of the Storm map in competitive, so actually pretty interested to see if there will be any new takes on the formula from either of the team.
Indeed, let's see. I mean, there's definitely a few picks which sometimes jump in on this map, like Kerrigan, for example, is a good hero or something. Ming falls off in priority because the Shrine minions are really annoying and just block all your shots, so you kind of don't want to pick Ming on this map. But first ban is going to be Junkrat from the Mighty Minion army.
Which is already interesting, not necessarily the most popular hero, and not necessarily the most picked by that Asgard. I don't think I've seen him often, but he's still a pretty solid hero, has a lot of AoE damage, and has a lot of setup potential with the trap, so... Meanwhile, Varian getting banned out on the right, and for a good reason. Mighty Minion Army are a team that does engage in a little bit of Varian comboing.
Indeed, Varian, still very, very strong tool. Especially in those, when it's so straightforward what he does. He just charges someone, he taunts someone. It's so really easy to follow up onto it if you pay attention towards it. So it's a really, really good ban.
And Hanzo banned out as well, another hero that actually rised a lot in popularity in the lower divisions recently. I think that a lot of AoE that this hero deceptively does have, and just a lot of good setup tools for the team.
Those damn Master Smurfs coming in the lower divisions and making Hanzo a good pick there as well. But yes, in front of Shrines, explosive arrows, really good on the Shrine, especially with the Pierce on 16. There's the Hammer ban, but this leaves Mephisto open to see if he might get picked up.
Mephisto is actually open. I'm interested to see how Mighty Minion Army will try to play around it. Will they let it go through to their opponents? Will they... Okay, Johanna probably is the most common hero in the whole of Lounge. Just the canister, I think, a tank that everyone can play, and everyone can play at least reasonably well. And yeah, just a solid tool all around.
Especially Johanna is just a stone standing right in your face, so you don't have a lot of tools to really kill her quick usually. Especially with Varian being banned, that's an option. And
Speaking of stones,
go for the Mephisto, you can just walk into him and then start locking him down with a blessed shield when he ports it. But yeah, speaking of stones,
we do have Blaze, who is apparently not a tank. Picked a lot in the offlane, so probably gonna expect him to move up there. And we also have the Anduin, another very classic hero this time in the heal role. Answered by Leoric. Yes, honestly, those offlaners don't necessarily tend to.
You have the rock and the guy pulling the rock with the tree. For Fed Asgard so far. Mighty Minion Army, so for picking up Leoric and Rega, both also bringing in a lot of wave killers of Mighty Minions and really focusing down to have a lot of wave killers. Leoric really strong into Blaze in the offlane with those with the arm able to trade the blaze in every situation as long as it hits. And with the Entomb also another good engage tool for team fights, but there's the Undoing on the other side. And with the pull, especially double pull on level 16, it's usually a very strong tool against Entomb.
In the meantime, we get a Chain ban, so taking out a little bit of extra wave clear. It's time to figure out that, wait, I think those guys have way too much, we should try and cut them down on it. Meanwhile, Mighty Minion army will choose to take out a Genji. So, another one of those...
Open.
Mephisto is still open, yeah. And Genji does not necessarily show up in my stats, at least as far as I've gathered them. So, probably just trying to future-proof their composition against those pesky backline diver assassins.
Indeed, let's see. Will Fed Asgard pick up a Mephisto now, or will they leave him for last pick actually? Falstad and Muradin, so they do have a DPS spot left open for the last pick, which is potentially the Mephisto.
It will be funny if we hype him all the way and he just does not show up in the entire series. Either way, Falstad has an amount of wave clear, has a lot of zone control though, with a Mighty Gust. I think that's the main reason to pick him necessarily. And the Muradin. Another one very solid rock.
You know, if your opponent tries to engage with an Entomb or with a Blast Shield, you just gust them away. Mighty Minion army picking up Vala and Tychus, to Rebel Auto Attack focus DPS.
Hey!
There is the Mephisto.
So,
I'm not the biggest fan of Vala Tychus, and especially with the Mephisto now coming in for Asgard. I really like the draft of Asgard here.
Are you not? Vala is a pretty versatile damage dealer, also does have a lot of wave clear on the shrine, while Tychus is, I think, just here to blow up the tanks.
Yeah, it's gonna be the question how they will be able to deal with the Mephisto, because so far they do not really have a lot of tools to deal with the Mephisto.
You just ignore him and kill everyone else.
True, you just ignore him while he kills your
should
team
work, right? Hold up. Oh well. Either way, map number 1.
Predictions are also open, so make sure you get yours in. But yeah, you still have a minute to do your predictions for this game in the Twitch chat, so make sure you go there and also throw in your points. But let's jump into game number 1.
Yes, indeed. On the left, we will have a Mighty Minion army. They have been here since season 10, I believe, and it's their second time going in the cup, but it's their first time in the grand final. Let's see. Korg1 Riot playing as Leoric, Omichascho on the Tychus, Runfunk playing as the Johanna, Fyrox on the Raker, and Boba Fett picking up the Vala for game number 1.
On the right hand side, we do have Fed Asgard, we do have Shiny Lypheon on the Undoing, Go Get Lost on his Mephisto, Jolicano on the Blaze, Alexander X on Muradin, and Cazador on the Falstad.
Well, I don't think the teams will try to innovate too much on the level 1. We see both sides just conversion on the mid lane. I'm actually interested to see if any fighting will happen, because there are always a few stacks to keep in mind. Vala stacking her W, Falstad is stacking his Q, and Mephisto is also gonna be stacking that Skull.
First damage coming in on the mid lane with the Q build for Mephisto. Joanna usually going as most go with the double blind, grenade build on Tychus, and W build for the Vala.
And it appears that Mighty Minion army are slightly quicker on the rotation, with both the team showing up quicker to the bot lane and Runfunk just doing a very nice job at stopping the momentum of Fat Asgard. Do you think that this will continue? Do you think that they have enough wave clear to just keep being first on the rotations?
Yeah, they definitely do. Especially Mephisto and Falstad, they struggle early game with the wave clear. So as soon as it comes towards like level 7, Falstad will be able to help out a lot more with the wave clear, and then it's gonna get a bit easier. But they still just lack the wave clear in general.
And it appears that their camp clear is a little bit slower as well, as both teams are gonna go for siege camps, and unfortunately Fat Asgard just slightly slower here, allowing Mighty Minion army to try and set up for the bot camp. It's almost taken, Runfunk will get stunned, but nothing that the Johanna's trait will not fix.
Indeed, mid lane already has been cleared. Falstad tried to go there a bit. Joined a bot lane instead and had the team visitors so far. Getting a lot of good stacks, 10 stacks already. He's low one quest for the Q. With 20 stacks he will increase the damage of his Q by 100. And at 40 stacks he gets additional torch. Huge for level 16 while he gets the explosion onto his Q. But for now he's been caught off a little bit off guard, but a nice heal from Anduin keeps him alive.
Nice bunch of stuns by Alexander here, just finding those stuns on the backliners who are generally a little bit trickier to get out of the fight once it starts happening than the Johanna, so a few bright spots for the early game of Fat Asgard as well. There's a stun on the Johanna, however, yet another trait will ensure that the tank will get out, go get lost. Trying to get some damage in, Alexander jumping in using that dwarf toss block, but I don't think it's necessarily the best option against the Tigers.
Let's see. Yes, we do have the shrine activating in the mid lane. Mighty Minion army is starting the bruiser camp. Close to finishing it, a little bit late on the shrine, but on the other side, you see Fat Asgard not even going for the bruiser camps. We do have a lot of pressure on the top lane.
But it does allow them to get a lead on that first camp, and the first Punisher will be a frozen one, which is important because frozen Punisher can actually turn off buildings, so the ensuing push, if they manage to get this objective away, will be stronger. However, Mighty Minion army seem to be taking the advantage here, setting up for the position. Alexander gonna jump in, but not a lot is happening actually in terms of health bars, just a slow and steady decline in both teams.
Indeed, but Mephisto is starting to get the resets, and the first kill comes in as Rhaegar is falling at on.
And the second as well, Alexander finds the Johanna as we will. I think this just secures the first objective for Fat Asgard. Mighty Minion army will choose not to pursue the 3v5 fight and will just try and get as much damage out of that top lane camp as possible.
The wall is down and Blaze is really low, so he has to be careful.
However, the Punisher is in session and Tychus is the only one defending. There's a jump, so it's gonna get pulled away from the wall. The wall will slowly but surely start falling down while Mighty Minion army are just trying to focus down the Punisher as quickly as possible.
Indeed, and in the meantime the top fort is gone. Forward is out of Asgard. Lyric and his camp is just spanking away on this fort.
Actually, a pretty good play by Mighty Minion army. After the initial fight went awry, they realized that you can't really keep fighting for the objective, so they just decide to give it up completely and utterly and just play to their advantages, because they had this camp pushing up top that their opponents had no count to play to, and it results in them winning the structure trade after the first objective that they lost, which is rather impressive to me.
You can also have a quick look at damage numbers so far. 46,000 siege damage on the
Alexander is trying to set up here in the backline, got the flank, but will he pursue it? Yes indeed, he jumps in, but the stun misses, and that will be it. They just trade the wall for nothing as Mighty Minion army keep on sending their foremen around and just accomplishing stuff around the map.
Indeed, but now they might look for an invade as Blaze is around. Oh, he's jumping
Alexander
in.
comes in. Boba Fett is a little bit singled out on the top, but now the action is happening in the bottom as Ranfang chose Zavala over his healer. Both the Tychus and the Rhaegar will fall down, and Fat Asgard win another fight.
Indeed, another fight into their advantages. They now hit level 10, and they get free reign on the bottom lane fort as no one is able to stop them for now. Minions also coming in to aid them now. Fort is taking some serious damage. I'm not sure if they can finish it off now.
Durance of Hate misses. No. That could have been a very interesting combo starter for Fat Asgard. But in terms of ultimates, I don't think there's anything particularly notable. We do have the Mighty Gas, the Light Bombs, the Bunkers, the Avatar, and the Durance of Hate on the right. We do have the Blessed Shields, Odin, in Doom, Ancestral Heal, and we also have Rain of Vengeance on the left.
Oh,
Everything
let's
as
shield onto
standard.
Mephisto. He blinks out, but he will come back in.
The Entomb unfortunately missed there, but it doesn't matter too much as the health bars are still way too low to be able to fight efficiently here. Calzador will actually use the flight to get in, but unfortunately the host is a little bit too late here.
Indeed. With that, we do see now the push on the bot lane coming up from the mighty Minion army. Transparent comes in with a sub. Let's go, mighty Minion army. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the sub. Also, thank you for running everything yesterday. Yeah, the shrine is activating. It's gonna be an arcane punisher.
A big fan of how Mighty Minion Army are playing this game. They aren't necessarily winning the teamfights, right? They've won one, they've got 1 kill this game, and that was on a catch, but they're playing macro just pretty nicely, just going around picking up those stray forts that don't seem to be guarded at all by Fat Asgard.
But now it's gonna be a little bit sketchy again as Blaze going in. There's a stun, the light bomb hits the Rhaegar as well, and Vala gets taken down by the Mephisto in the meantime. Also is around as well there, a little bit too late here.
But the Blast Shield does seem to stop the bleeding as Mighty Minion Army seem to get out with 4 members alive, so while they can't necessarily fight, they can still pursue actions around the map. Forgone Riot will take a bunch of HP out of the Falstad and will actually enter the objective as the E is used to get closer to the team. Maybe they will try to attempt a re-engage, or I think they're just trying to set up for this defense.
The Punisher now taken by Fat Asgard.
Now they will be able to get some damage on the map. It appears that Leoric now is counter-played by the Falstad, so not a lot of macro pressures that Mighty Minion Army can pursue in other areas of the map.
No.
There's a Leoric on the flank, those Entomb engages can be deadly potentially, but just not yet. The level 20 is so far away. We do have the Punisher aggroed, and Leoric is trying to go in, but unfortunately does not quite get what he wants. However, he gets hit by Durance of Hate, there's a cleanse right out. And this entire trade just results in nothing much. The wall on the keep is broken down, but besides that, no casualties.
Wall low. So checking the camp, but they're not on it yet, so let's see.
Blaze will get sent to defend that top lane, where quite a sizable wave has assembled. You do want to get as much experience as possible as Fat Asgard. You have told me that their late game should be stronger, right?
Yeah, Mephisto hit 13 already, and 16 is gonna be the big spike for him, where he will just start to one-shot those opponents. But there's also now Gloom picked up by Vala, so she's getting a lot of nice juicy spell armor, which will definitely help against the damage.
And Johanna is using the Blast Shield here. Durance of Hate on both the backliners, and Vala is gonna get blown up immediately. Fyrox not feeling too healthy either. Rhaegar falls down afterwards. Fat Asgard gets this fight out of seemingly nowhere. Johanna seemed to try for a fight, and well, she has got it. Tychus falls down as well, and Fat Asgard just gets 3 for nothing.
In the with this triple kill, they also did secure the mid fort before, and they will be a Mortar Punisher spawning in mid lane, so they have a really good spot on the map right now, even going to steal the opponent's bruiser camp for now.
Yorick actually is here to defend, but I'm not necessarily sure this is the best usage of Leoric that Mighty Minion Army can find for the guy, because there is a lot of stuff that Fat Asgard are doing well. For example, when they are walking around as a 4-man, I don't think you want to try and counteract it. Leoric steps a little bit too far and gets caught out and just dies.
Indeed, yes, we do have being very Fat Asgard being very close to 16. There we go, 16 is in. This would be a really big power spike for them, especially for the Mephisto.
I think the biggest strength of Mighty Minion Army so far was just playing macro and oozing through the cracks of just dancing around the 4-man of Fat Asgard while
Gust is used and
the fly out. Nice. And unfortunately, right now, the plan seems to be falling apart. Korg 1 Riot seems to be sticking next to the team, and it just allows Fat Asgard to get those team fights that they so want.
Oh no.
Ooh, Omichashu and Fyrex caught out again. There's a stun. Rhaegar will get blown up. The light bomb connects with Johanna and the Tychus, and they are chasing Vala, however, who is stuck here alone. There's a slow. Will it be enough? Doesn't seem to be, but Kelzador still manages to put a lot of damage into that Vala.
Indeed, Vala staying alive. Lyric back to top lane, splitting a little bit, getting level 16 for his team.
And that's what I mean. Mighty Minion Army, I think they strive in those situations where yes, they will be losing fights, they might be losing people, but as long as this Leoric is out in the side lane breaking down keeps, I think they should be fine-ish. However, yeah, Fat Asgard will get initiative and they will get their first pick on the objective. For example, this time around they will choose to take this shrine. This is some just nice playing second fiddle from Mighty Minion Army, knowing that they can't really fight on the objective, going for the camp. And just trying to set up as much potential macro pressure in other lanes while Fat Asgard assembles their Iron Fist to strike down on that mid lane with a Mortar Punisher.
Indeed, the Kalbrakim now pushing on the bot lane, falls counter pressuring top for Fat Asgard. So getting this global value coming in from there. Indeed.
We do have the Punisher jumping in behind the wall as Mighty Minion Army start wailing at it. Durance of Hate will connect, but there's a cleanse immediately afterwards and the Blast Shield to try and stop this engage attempt from happening. Kelzador, of course, not yet with the rest of Fat Asgard, but look at Korg Riot, look at Zavala, or rather don't, because she's dead already. There's a kill on the Leoric, the bunker counters Entomb perfectly. And that's just 2 kills out of nowhere. Kelzador flies in, but yet again, he's just too late. He seems just that good. Jumping in on Omichashu, the stun misses, and no, the Tychus stays alive so far. The Odin finally times out. A lot of damage put into the Blaze, but it's just not quite enough to pick up any of the kills. And it seems like they are not done, and I mean, why would they be? The enemy team is obviously not able to mount a defense, so you can't just push for that keep, you can't just take it down, and you can keep getting those advantages on the map. Kelzador going top, but after a little bit of thinking, just decides to back out instead, because there is still a camp in the bot lane that is getting some amount of value, it's just not quite as much to compensate.
Indeed. 19.5 we have in for Fat Asgard already, so they're looking to just wait a bit, don't fight now, wait half a level. They have the global on their side. They can just wait until he gets level 20 for them and then look for a fight. There's a bit of space to Mighty Minion Armies, they will be able to pick up Bruiser camp to at least get something on the map.
Both teams are taking camps. We do see Fat Asgard picking up a siege camp of their opponents, while the team in blue is gonna choose to take their Bruiser camp. This Bruiser camp does not have any opposition in the top lane, but it seems to me like neither side is focusing on that at all, as Fat Asgard are assembling a 5-man. With their newfound level 20s, they have their target in the sights. That bottom keep will surely not be living for much longer.
27. There's still the Bruiser camp pushing in top lane for a Mighty Minion Armies. They have to respond to that at some point if they don't use that. Mephisto though is starting to get some insane damage.
Ooh, Entomb does hit her, but the bunker counters it so perfectly yet again, and Mephisto damage comes through. There's a kill on Zavala, there's a kill on Tychus, and Mighty Minion Army have no damage to continue this fight. Leoric falls down as well, and I think this should be the core with a grand total of 15-1 and kills, just pretty dominant play by Fat Asgard to shut down their opponents on map number 1.
Yes, if this is level 20 on the Leo, if he gets the Silence Entomb, it's a complete different story. But until level 20, Blaze can just pop the bunker, everyone hops in, and it's GG for Fat Asgard as they win game number 1.
one down. At least two more to go, as finals are gonna be a best of 5. And wow, there's just a lot of numbers here. What are the most important ones? Actually, don't tell me. I think I have the highlight figured out for myself. Mephisto
Okay,
has
okay.
almost twice as much damage as Tychus here, and that's just disgusting. Go get lost with a 9-6-1 scoreline in the end of this game. Definitely proving why the guy was banned out so often against them.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see that they did not ban him out, but also I feel like they didn't really count on him being picked up. They did not really draft against their opponents picking up a Mephisto. They do have Gloom and Neo still coding on the tank, on Tychus and Vala, but it just came in a little bit too late. They just really straight up lost those team fighters. They were unable to deal with the Mephisto. They did not die to him that fast with those level 13 talents, but they just had no way of dealing with him, of killing him whatsoever after he jumps in and gets out and jumps in again and gets out again. And it's really hard for them to kill their opponents.
To be completely fair, Mephisto is the only dead on the side of Fat Asgard, so maybe he wasn't the problem. Who knows? But yeah, just a nice.
Damage.
Yeah, but he has quadruples the death of his teammates put together. Either way, that is map number 1. So first pick has been the choice by Mighty Minion Army almost immediately after the game has ended. So let's see what will be the choice for our map number 2. Fat Asgard seemed to have a preference for for Towers of Doom and Tombs of Spider Queen, so
2 is
there
banned, so
are-
Towers is open. Volskaya Foundry, Sky Temple, Cursed Hollow, and Battlefield of Eternity also open. So let's see. If one of
a
those.
few pretty nice maps for Fat Asgard. I think Towers of Doom or Volskaya Foundry would be the two that I'm most expecting out of the team right now, but we will see.
Yeah, I mean, their opponents will have Mephisto now on the radar after this game number 1, so they will most likely ban it in game number 2. So maybe picking Towers is Towers is now the pick, and then later on, like for potential map number 4 or 5, looking at Volskaya to see Mephisto value there, because Volskaya is another late game for Mephisto can shine. If I'm on the side of Feraska, I definitely do not want to pick Sky Templar or Cursed Hollow now, because Mighty Minion Army just played really, really well on the map. It was just the team fights where Feraska took the lead
It's
ahead
actually
and
a
was able to.
pretty funny and fickle thing because the results seem to be proving you wrong here. In the head-to-head match between Fat Asgard and Mighty Minion Army, Fat Asgard have actually managed to win Sky Temple, the game number 3 between them, while Mighty Minion Army have gotten themselves a Dihaka and a Falstad, so maybe it's not just the macros that wins you that map.
Indeed. Let's see though, as we're still waiting for the map pick from Fat Asgard. Let's see. I mean, Sky Temple is also one of those maps that a lot of people don't have on the radar too much, as it's not played very often. But if a team is, is good on it, have a plan on it, it often gets banned against them.
It's not necessarily the maps that I would pin down as both teams, as either team's preference. The one thing that's working against Towers of Doom for Fat Asgard is the fact that Mighty Minion Army also play Towers of Doom. Either way, we do have our pick for the second map. I believe it is not in fact banned.
It's not Infernal Shrines again. Yay!
It's not Infernal Shrines. Let's go. Finally, some good and honest Heroes of the Storm played on Battlefield of Eternity coming to you shortly, as the lobby is already being made.
Indeed,
So,
Battlefield of Eternity. Like another very the other Diablo map coming in. Very teamfight heavy map, so definitely a thing just judging by game number 1 between Fed Asgard and Mighty Minsami, one thing Fed Asgard is definitely looking to play, look to go for those team fights, win those team fights, and therefore win the game. And especially BOE is one of those maps, like, it does not matter how good your macro is, you usually win this map over team fights.
Well, Battlefield of Eternities. Definitely not as much of a macro map, so I'm getting kind of worried for his team in blue here. But, however, variant setups can be still pretty potent here if that hero manages to escape the draft.
I mean, it may also just be that they played for macro on game 1 and then are like, yeah, let's go team fighting now.
I mean, it's... well, it's
Maybe-
not a
maybe
map
they
that you
have-
can play macro, so you are kind of forced to do the team fighting.
Yeah, but maybe they just, you know, maybe they're flexible in what they play. Let's see.
The only question here is how hard do you want to try and focus the objective compared to actual fighting? So I'm pretty interested to see where the draft will get, and the game itself will get those teams too, because I've seen teams overvalue fighting, I've seen teams overvalue the objective and lose because of both of those reasons. So let's see how.
Indeed. My rule of thumb for this map is definitely that you have to have one hero who is good at team fighting, but also has decent race, like Greymane, Hanzo, Reyna, Li-Ming, maybe even Lunara to a certain degree, but you need at least one hero who can do some damage to the Immortal, because if you don't, you just struggle a lot. I remember playing a Madness game on this map where my team was unable to get one of the racing heroes because they were all gone already, and went out with like a Medivh Kira as DPS, and it was just so painful. We won every single fight, but we did not get any racing done when we won the fight, so it was just a very long, painful, drawn out game where in the end we managed to win enough team fights to win the game. But you know,
I mean, you won the game, so that's what counts, right?
If you go for a 30-minute Battlefield of Eternity game, are there even any winners?
I mean, a best of 5 series is definitely a marathon, not a sprint, so there is definitely an option of just tiring out your opponents. So they, I don't know, fall asleep in map 5.
Don't worry, guys, we have everyone coffee.
Is he up yet? I thought those Austrians are very sleepy in the morning. Either way, we do have Mighty Minion Army. Having a little bit of a think with our first ban, I thought that the choice would be obvious after that map 1, but...
It's 3:30, what the heck? Calling it in the morning. Alright, Mephisto, there we go. Goodbye, my old friend. It was nice seeing you, but you have to go. I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, I mean...
It's not like we hate you, but you're the Lord of Hatred.
We did get one fun map out of the Mephisto as a treat. I think he can sit on the bench for the rest of the series for all I care. And it's not like that's too bad necessarily, because it is the second most banned hero against Fat Asgard, so of course they do have extra options around, and having a hero that's not necessarily meta banned out by your opponent just opens up a meta hero for you to pick in the draft. So...
Indeed. Variant is banned again, by the way, so Johanna looks a bit more juicy as there is no shield breaker for her Iron Skin. But it's also the nice Li-Ming variant combos, which are really fun, especially if you throw in the Stukov into the mix, or an Ana boost to Ana, who nano boosts the Ming. And Junkrat is gonna be the ban of Mighty Minion, which is a very weird, like, Junkrat is still one of those picks I'm unsure for Battlefield of Eternity, because he doesn't really have a lot of raise, but he gets a lot of zoning for your team, so he enables your team to raise while also being decent at team fighting and poking the opponents. So very...
I was interested after map number 1 because Junkrat was the first ban of Mighty Minion Army, but now that ban actually forced me to go and look it up. Junkrat has been picked 4 times by Fat Asgard, has been banned 3 times by them, and 4 times against them. Junkrat has a win rate of 75%, so 3 games out of 4, which is reasonable and is a pretty solid win rate, but is there just... I wouldn't say that there's enough picks to establish the pattern, and the absence of bans against it means that it's not necessarily a thing that Fat Asgard has in their pool as a big cheese strategy that everyone else in the division fears.
Indeed. In the meantime, we do have a ban onto the Valor, taking away one of those race heroes. Another Feraska Johanna being picked up by the Mighty Minions army, but this did leave hands open as he's getting picked up by Feraskar. Together with the Blaze again, but this leaves Anduin, and he will be picked up by the Mighty Minion army, together with Reyna, as he will potentially go Exterminator to just race down those Immortals.
So you weren't joking when you were saying about Trainer becoming the first big thing. Oh no.
No.
Well, there are third bans still on the table. I mean, they can try to go and ban the hammer, but I don't think it's necessarily the best option, so I'm actually quite interested to see what the ban will be.
Indeed, let's see. Jaina. Another Jaina ban from Feraska, which is very interesting as it seems to be a comfort hero for Mighty Minion, which, you know, you can't blame them too much. Like, Johanna condemn into Blessed Shield and then Light Bomb. Jaina gets a lot of time and space to just rain her blizzard on the opponents. Wait, what is this ban?
Alexstrasza is this ban. He's an interesting option. I think that Alexstrasza can provide quite a bit of sustain and quite a bit of zoning as well with the dragon, as we see the second rock picked up and thrown in the pile of Fat Asgard as Murdin joins the blaze for yet another outing, and this time around the teams will just switch healers as Rhaegar gets picked up on the fourth. That could potentially be scary for Mighty Minion army. Imagine Rhaegar picking Bloodlust and then Murdin and Blaze just running you down. Just an avalanche of rocks coming down the hill.
I mean, if they get a Greymane to throw into that mix, it definitely sounds like a very good Bloodlust game, but for now we do have 2 picks on Mighty Minami, and they also have the mob line on Johanna, so it's gonna be Tasada and the Leoric again.
And the Liming on the last pick. Liming, a pretty commonplace lower division pick, at least back in the day. I'm pretty sure that her numbers are still up, but
in general, she's a very strong pick for Battlefield of Eternity, and I'm a bit surprised to see her being open until the very last moment. As usually, for me, the 2 high prio DPS 100 and Liming, because they can both poke from afar. Yeah, let's see, as we do have Hustler, interestingly picked up by Mighty Minion army. I mean, he's not, I would argue he's not the best DPS into what you see on the other side, but the
theory crafting behind Tessler, because you both have the wall to try and keep the enemies away from you when they are going in, and you have the black hole when they finally manage to do so. So I think that Black Hole will be chosen, and I think that's kind of a plan of Mighty Minion army. Speaking of, we do have Runfunk playing as Johanna, Korgwan Riot on the Leoric, Omichachu is playing the Tester, Fyrox on the Anduin, and Boba Fett is playing as Rainer in game number 2.
Indeed, and on the other side, in the red, we do have Jolikana on the Blaze. Go Get Lost on Li Ming, not getting everything to this time. Calzador on Hanzo, Alexander X on Muradin, China Legion. Playing the regular, it's Fat Asgard, 1-0 in the lead.
And we do have a little bit of a cheese. Go Get Lost moving up to top side. Let's see if Leoric will actually get cut out by that cheese. And picking up a very aggressive rotation and just doing some structure damage. I mean, structure damage is probably more valuable than the damage on a Leoric, considering that you can't heal the first, but you can heal the second one pretty easily.
Indeed, but also, you know, as Li Mings usually do, they have a very good poke against the walls, very safe as well while doing so. Stepping up.
Mighty Minion army respond in kind. They just get a lot of push in the bot lane, knowing that Ming is gone, and honestly do more damage than Ming has ever accomplished in the top lane. Pretty nice clapback, so to speak.
Indeed. But also, like, we do again see the Johanna, and this time with the Tassada, they just one-shot waves on the side of Mighty Minion army again. But talking about Tassada, he's getting locked down by the pull over. Very small pull, but, you know, still good enough to keep him alive.
As I've heard a lot of times, it's not the distance of the pull that matters, it's how you use it. And in this particular case, Omichashu got pulled out away from the body blocking Murding, which definitely ensures the survival of the tester. I have spoken some amount of praise about Black Hole, but it's true, before level 10 it will be a pretty rough going for Mighty Minion Army to try and get away out of those engages.
It comes down a little bit to what Tassadar goes on level 4. If he goes for the shield when he's full on energy, I think it can do fine. And he's got some more HP to play with. Oh, just look at this, the first tower is already gone.
Well,
Yes,
playing macro.
Oh,
They
nice
found a
Iron
way to
Skin!
play macro.
Alexander gets punished for jumping in. That's the first kill of the game, going into Mighty Minion Army.
I mean, of
Very
course,
later from Runfog.
Murdin keeps on jumping in, so of course the other side gets smart and starts thinking out about their counterplay. And in this particular case, as soon as Murdin jumps in, you have the wall blocking him off, and you have the Endurance route going straight into the Murdin to try and stop the potential disengage. Pretty nicely done by Mighty Minion Army, just assessing the situation. In
But
the
also,
meantime,
I had some play by Runfog, like taking the Stormbolt with Iron Skin there, but we do have the Bruiser camps now on the way.
Fat Asgard slightly quicker on the camp, but notice that they are not taking it just yet, delaying it a little bit. Of course, as the action will heat up in the middle of the map, those sidelines will be a little bit unattended, which means that those camps suddenly pick up a lot of value because they just have nothing to stop them from wrecking those walls and those forts potentially even.
Indeed, we do see the race starting already on the side of that Asgard.
Asgard actually gained quite a lot of mileage out of that initiative, almost as a half-point mark. Omichashu gonna get tons there, trying to go for a wall, but only taking damage in return. That's gonna be the first kill for Fat Asgard, trying to disengage now a little bit. The halftime show got triggered, and I think in a drag race, it's just gonna be Fat Asgard winning out in the end.
Yeah, Fat Asgard had a lot of lead at the start, especially with the Tassadar down. I think they should be able to do it, but Mighty Minion Army still got a lot of damage onto it.
Almost 4k shield. We do have Blaze picking up some soak in the bot lane, defending the camp while the drag race was happening, and now satisfied with the results, moving up back to the top lane where Hard One Riot already clears out his hard camp. Well, the Punisher... sorry, wrong map. The Immortal is already in there, the Immortal is already going in, there's a wall, a lot of damage is put into the Murdin, but the Murdin will just jump out, not having used that ability yet.
Yeah, the wall will go down a
lot
little
of
bit
damage
of
put into
support.
the tester here. The main definitely doing quite
Oh.
a work on him with the
Nice
Qs.
play.
However, Murdin overstays a little bit, and the rotation by the Leoric catches Fat Asgard off guard. There's gonna be a third kill in the match. In the game, sorry.
Indeed, and now this bottom fort will actually take also a lot of damage on the side of Fat Asgard. This drops down to, yeah, it's 2/3 of its health.
I'm actually surprised how aggressive Fat Asgard are in this defense as they move forward past the fort without their tank being alive, potentially opening themselves up for a counter engage, but also just getting the pressure away from the structures that they work so hard to keep alive.
I mean, Morden was dead, so the danger of a counter engage was not that high, and especially Lyric, I think, had vision on the Blaze top. Blaze rotates in those moments, it's definitely a very hard one.
And the wall comes out, but the jump is not used yet. Boba Fett gonna take a lot of damage, but there's Rainer's E, proving why he's the best hero in the meta right now. We do have Alexander X taking a lot of HP again, and the Johanna will fall very low, but Go Get Lost just can't find the snipe over the wall here to secure the pick for himself. No casualties, and the camp goes over to Mighty Minion Army in the end.
Yeah, this is exactly one of those things where Liming shines on this map. Being able to just stand over the wall and throw stuff onto that camp when your opponents are taking it makes them, especially with the resets on level 4, makes it really, really dangerous. Just take this camp.
Mighty Minion Army slightly had an experience thanks to their push prowess, but as objectives are on the map, the fact that they have the slight XP lead doesn't matter as much as the fact that the Immortal is slowly but surely gaining, well, losing HP, and it is very close at the halftime actually, but the engage is here. Leoric is gonna get killed. Alexander gets caught out by the wall. A lot of damage put into the Meridian, but not enough yet again. It seems like something's wrong with the targeting by Mighty Minion Army. They just can't find those kills.
But the Lyric now respawns in the middle of his opponent. So getting some pressure.
Mighty Minion Army are actually going for a fight here. They will lose on the Immortal HP, but they hopefully will actually get some kills and defend the Immortal from going down to 0, which is the most important part. Sending back Boba Fett to try and get some race as they now keep working to make sure that Fat Asgard are just pushed way too far back and can't do... Wow, Omchachi just lost 80% of their health. Is it enough? 51-0, they actually lose the race. Mighty Minion Army is slightly behind. 605 is the final health, and Leoric dies yet again, and Destro dies yet again. Just trying too much, it seems.
Indeed, as we do have all signs being in for both teams now, and the Punisher spawning on the top side. Forfeit us, sorry, the Immortal spawning on the top side, forfeit Asgard.
Yeah, thankfully it's no longer Infernal Shrines. Either way, the wall is gone. The level 1 cheese finally pays off. And they are gonna try and see if they can maybe find some kills. Actually, a lot of damage put. Here's the light bomb on the Johanna will secure.
But
a lot of damage put into the Rhaegar, killed by the fort. Actually, no damage dealer required if you have just the stuns and that structure. Kelzador trying to trade damage, but your healer is dead. You can't really fight here. Allowing...
Punisher, Immortal gets taken out as the top 4 is the only thing they get. We also do see the Disintegrate and Seeker on Li Ming, by the way. So.
Actually, is Seeker that picked off a talent? I don't see it often.
I am still of the belief that you should always go Calamity if you know how to play Ming, but if you go Seeker does more damage as soon as you don't get the insta reset with Calamity, so therefore it's not too bad, especially with Murder.
Mighty Minion Army
have a lot of stuns.
There's an engage, but it's slightly too late. The stun by Blaze will be here. Pyrox gets light bombed, and there's a bunker in response. The heal comes out just in time to save Alexander as Johanna falls down, and now Tester is just got out, and there's nothing to do to help him. Boba Fett loses a lot of HP and just gonna get disintegrated. 3 more kills for Fat Asgard, losing none in the process yet again.
Indeed, and with this bot 4 should be gone as a wave. And 4 members of Fat Asgard pushing away on it. So double 4 for Fat Asgard, which gives them a lot of XP, and with those XP, with those passive XP, they're already about to level 13.
And that's a talent lead. However, now it's time to pick up those hard camps. We do see Fat Asgard actually moving towards theirs, and Mighty Minion Army gonna be slightly slower, but they also have quite a bit of damage to be able to take it down before the Immortals spawn, especially considering that the Immortals are in what I prefer to call the home position, allowing... Oh no, actually it's a away position, allowing both teams to just drag race it down. Let's see who is quicker.
Indeed, Lyric knowing a little bit, but not able to do a lot there, as we do see level 13, and with level 13 we do also see Seeker on the Li Ming. Putting
that's Glass Cannon, my dude.
Yeah, sorry, Glass Cannon.
We do have a lot of lead in the race by Fat Asgard, so Mighty Minion Army are kind of forced to respond and defend. Let's see what the response will be. Corcoran Riot going right into the enemy team and trying their hardest. There's a black hole, but the bunker is gonna save Blaze. The Entomb used just on the terrain, it seems. Alexander X gonna get stunned. Ancestral Heal comes out, and alongside the Avatar it just helps.
Resets.
Wow, that is... They just did not get any kills and lost Blaze. Mighty Minion Army finally get one.
Indeed, and now Reyna is stepping up, he's looking, but there's Li Ming with a combo.
And they lose one. And I think with a 12k lead on the Immortal HP, Fat Asgard are very happy to just trade 1-for-1 because it means that there's less defensive resources that Mighty Minion Army can pull to defend this
They
mortal.
did lose the bot fort, but in return they also have their own camp pushing in top, getting the top keep wall, and now they have a very big shield on the immortal, and this is potentially keep. If they get a few kills, it even might be game at this point.
16,000
the death time was
HP
really
shield
low.
on the immortal. Actually, maybe slightly more. I'm not sure how the calculation works on it. Either way, what matters is that the immortal has finally reached the walls. Runfang is standing in front of everyone else, and the demon's actually moving slightly out, but Blaze shows up and forces them back behind the wall. The shield is gone.
Indeed, and they are
it's always the walls.
playing very safe on both sides. Oh, there's a combo, but
oh, the stun misses. Unfortunate. And the stun hits on the tester by the immortal. Let's see, Alexander X gonna get engaged on, but there's the Doom, there's the bunker in response, and Black Hole seems to be going awry yet again. It appears that this particular counterplay measure does not pay off for Mighty Minion Army so far.
yeah, Mighty Minion really need level 20 for that Entomb the Blaze. He can't press bunker.
They need to survive until level 20 first. That's a lot of very low HP on Mighty Minion Army, allowing Fat Asgard to straight up pick the fort and maybe potentially get the Leorix. There's a stun, but there's no follow-up for it. A lot of damage actually put into Alexander on every single jump of his, but the save...
Oh, the best
is just
shield! Central Healing comes out, saves the Lee Ming. She turns around, goes and lasers. Lyric will stay alive though.
Indeed, and so will everyone on the red side. Calzador staying alive on just a sliver of HP, managing to find the jump over the tester wall, which, if the wall was not here, potentially could have just killed him outright. That's what I call irony.
Let's see, bottom camp picked up now by Fat Asgard as Mighty Minion Army are starting to step more forward on the top side, but they can't go for the camp yet as they do not have level 16.
Mighty Minion Army, it seemingly just can't necessarily find those fights in general. They have to spend a lot of time in neutral just repelling the attacks, and if they manage to get a nice defense, they get a pick. But if they go for an aggressive action, it seems like Fat Asgard are just able to clamp down on them and clamp down on them hard. The Immortals are in, and there comes the race. A lot of damage already done to it in a split second. Porgon Riot gonna go in and pick up some zoning, and there's a lot of damage on Kelzador. Hanzo dies before the bunker comes out. That's a pick that they needed. Leoric on half HP, but still alive is the important part. Now firmly trying to interrupt Go Get Lost from doing damage, and Blaze falls down. And Merlin potentially no, does not. But Leoric just zoning Ming away allows the rest of the team to kill the front line.
Yeah, especially the minus 50% damage on his E is really good. In the meantime though, Ming stepped up, get a little bit more damage in, and they got the halftime.
They still win the halftime. They kill 2 people and they still get the halftime. Oh no. Mighty Minion Army, that's an alarm bell. That's a red flag. You need to mount some resources on the defense, not just of the lanes, but of the Immortal as well. However, thankfully...
This is a good spawn now for the side of Mighty Minion Army. It's very hard to walk around for Fat Asgard and get the job done.
There's a wall, but there's also the stun. Leoric who's no HP here. Runfang forced to use the blast shields into Ming will just blink out, who cares? And yeah, it appears that Fat Asgard managed to get the defense here. Ooh, a clutch pull at the last second saves Runfang from sudden doom. Leoric goes in to trade himself for the safety of his team. Is it the smartest option? I don't know, because Omichashu gonna get cut out, and so will Anduin. Just kills on kills on kills. Once Fat Asgard get a lead, they get that killer instinct. They just bite and go for the throat.
Yeah,
and they don't even pick Greymane for it. It's actually the insanest part.
we do see the Immortal now being picked up by Fat Asgard. Not too big of a shield, but they also pick up a Bruiser Camp for the bot lane.
Well, should be as a keep, could be as a core. We'll see how this team fight will go, which unfortunately has to happen. Unfortunately for Mighty Minion Army. As much as they want to wait for Buried Alive, because once that level 20 comes out, I agree their teamfight chances improve a lot once Bunker is off the table, once Li Ming can't jump out and do damage inside an Entomb, but right now, it's just kinda not doing anything. There's the Dragon Arrows, there's a lot of damage onto the Leoric, but Leoric will be able to get out. Johanna presses her trade and is fine as well. And the Black Hole finally connect, but unfortunately it just doesn't do enough. They can't be able to find any kills here before the Avatar comes out, before the Bunker comes out. The Immortal is almost dead, but the core is on 30%, and yes indeed, that is going to be a game number 2.
GGS. Fed Asgard also takes game number 2 in the hands. Very close to winning Division 5 here.
Surely Mighty Minion Army will not be able to come back from a 0-2 disadvantage. No one has ever done a reverse sweep in the history of Heroes of the Storm.
Especially not in the grand finals, where everyone is getting tired anyway.
Well, that is our map number 2. Mephisto banned out, but unfortunately it does not quite help, as Go Get Lost just picks up Ming. Does more damage than the Mephisto has done last game. However, not as much as in relation to the blue team, because now it's just a difference of 30,000 between 96k or 97k almost and 66k. And with a scoreline of 6-6-0 is the only deathless person in the entire game.
Indeed. I mean, talking stat-wise, the Tassadar was actually doing fine, especially damage-wise. He just out-damaged everyone on his team. But I feel like Tassadar is just a immobile hero, which, especially against Blaze and Muradin, you really struggle, because he always got engaged by Muradin or Blaze with just an oil underneath you from Blaze is enough to make it really hard for you to stay where you are at the moment. So it still feels like a little bit of a weird pickup for me, but...
So how would you actually deal with it? Just 2 stones rolling at you, having a blast and blowing up your backline. Is this a case of a false start? It doesn't feel too great on Battlefield of Eternity.
I don't think it's false, but like Kalphas or whatsoever, there's a lot of other picks. Like, you need something which has like at least a little bit of mobility. I guess also not Kalphas, or a little bit more health.
Kalphas doesn't have
mobility, so yeah, but you even need mobility or a bit more health. Like Rain also doesn't have mobility, but he has the E, which gives him armor and a bit of health back, and therefore he is not that easy to kill. But Tassadar, what can Tassadar do? He can pop invisible after 13, but at 13 it's often already decided on this map.
Like,
even after that, it's really hard.
They even have the Anduin to pull them out in this particular game, and it just does not seem to work. Unfortunate. But yeah, I agree still with the fact that if the game gets over to level 20, they get an equal fight, and I think the thought was that they will get to level 20, but it just doesn't quite work out that way. You need to not only figure out that yes, we win at level 20 and then pick, I don't know, Zul'jin Butcher and 3 other stacking heroes. You need to figure out on what do you want to pick to survive until level 20, which so far seemed to be not the case.
Ming was actually the 6th most played hero. Sorry, 8th most played hero on the side of Mighty Minion Army. It's very interesting that they did not consider picking her up. I think Ming Reina would have been a decent combo. There's also Jaina very high on the list.
I mean, Jaina is getting banned out every single game, so at least now we understand why, somewhat. Apologies. Just feeling a bit sick after all of those engages. Oof, those were nasty.
I mean, there's also like a few other picks I can up their sleeves, which I see like a Chromie, a Greymane,
Actually,
Sylvanas. I would
speaking
have
of
preferred
picking,
those over Tussle, to be
let's
honest.
go out of the draft thoughts and move out into the general series thought, because Mighty Minion Army now gets the option between first pick and map pick. And so far they have gotten 2 first picks, and that did not work, seemingly. Do you think they go for a first pick in the third map as well, or do you think they will try to get a map and just try
They
to play
have
second?
so far prioritized Johanna. Some would prefer them see them pick up the second pick, as I don't think Johanna is that high prio, should be that high prio at the moment. To be quite
Johanna is
honest.
the third most picked hero on the side of Fat Asgard at 8 picks throughout the season, so there
You
is
don't
a high
care about
chance of
Johanna.
first picking the yo-yo if FAA are gonna be on the first pick.
Yeah, we will see as they are typing now. I then would have loved or think they could just go for a map choice and go Cursed Hollow. And maybe manage to macro there. Especially pick up the force themselves.
They do seem to prefer Ultrac Pass, Garden of Terror, and Towers of Doom are the 3 maps that I have written out for myself. But both Garden of Terror and Ultrac Pass have been banned out by Fat Asgard, so the only option that you have really is Towers of Doom, but that one is shared between you and your opponent, so I'm not even sure that you want to pick it as much.
Indeed, let's see his. He's typing, he's not typing, he's typing, he's not typing again. He's not sure yet if he
I mean,
do see
to be
first pick on
fair,
map pick.
you have been stumped for 2 games in a row. Of course, you're gonna wanna try to at least rethink your strategy. Well, not rethink, but at least think about it again. Maybe there is something better to do for you. And indeed, Mighty Minion Army will choose not to go for the first pick. They will go for a map. And, well, what's better in a spot of bother than a little bit of comfort? They will choose Towers of Doom.
Indeed. Very interesting to see Towers of Doom being picked up now. But this map, I guess, gives him a greater chance to go into late game. So if they pick up the Leo again, it will probably get more value on this map compared to that one. But this also is a decent soul map, so maybe this
And
might
also,
be something they look at for Korok.
I think Towers of Doom is potentially less reliant on early games and Battlefield of Eternity. I'm not sure how Infernal Shrines go in terms of that, but I think that Battlefield of Eternity is a somewhat snowballish map in terms of how it plays.
Yeah. Battlefield is like the biggest snowball map besides Praxis at the moment. I
Sky
would say,
Temple?
but Praxis is not really in the pool. Yeah, Sky Temple as well, of course, but Sky Temple has a few different mechanics to like really help you bring back the snowball. While on Infernal Shrines, you really like go and take that objective and win
Either
the team
way,
fight against the opponent. Well,
the
Sky
point
Temple, you
stands.
can just sneak a boss or something to try to get back.
I think Towers of Doom is the least snowballing map in the entirety of our map pool currently.
Oh, yes. Pretty
So
much.
I think it works in favor of Mighty Minion Army as long as I ban Mephisto out. As long as
Yeah.
your opponents don't get that level 20 I win button. I think Mighty Minion Army are picking the compositions that are generally stronger in the late game, or at least are allowed to pick those compositions, because I don't think we've seen a variant yet from Mighty Minion Army, and that's their most picked hero.
He
right?
was first banned by Fat Asgard twice in a row now, so maybe they get him now. Let's see.
Like, that's the thing that MMA have been doing the entire season, just picking variant, going for your cookie cutter, very simple, very easy to follow up, and very, very destructive when done right. Combos in just taunt, kill, taunt, kill, taunt, kill. And
but you
if
can
they
also
get
just do that with Muradin. With Q, Muradin, just sun and try to kill someone with that.
Yeah, maybe they will just try to get together a little bit of that same just go kill people composition to try and get some momentum back, get some morale back, because right now pretty sure that the team is feeling pretty bad after getting stomped twice, but you can't really go for that. You still have a map to play, so you need to figure something out right now.
Indeed. So let's see what we do as we jump into draft of game number 3.
And Fat Asgard finally on the first pick, so maybe a little bit of a change of pace will happen in the draft. We won't necessarily know it, but yeah, an ability to pick the strongest available hero for your team is always a pretty enticing one.
Indeed, let's see. Asgard winning a little bit with the ban. Not sure if they wanna just ban the Varian again first, or if they wanna look to change things up a little bit.
The other thing that it might be is that the team is still like getting into the draft mode, like just talking about picks and just trying to figure out what necessarily they want to ban. But indeed, Varian is gonna be the one option taken out, but just getting that extra half a minute and using it not to think about the ban at hand, but also the draft at large, because I'm pretty sure that Mighty Minion Army are gonna ban Mephisto now, or Junkrat, I guess. I still need to figure out what the hell is happening here, because I think I've seen
draft mode. Beep boop. Yeah, Junkrat is banned. Junkrat just offers a lot of poke for this map. Very, very strong hero in general, just poking and stalling from 5 miles away, making it very scary as well to walk into bushes with his trap. So let's see.
I think I've seen people tell me about the draft and, well, the reason why they are banning Junkrat, and I've just went out to look it up. And Calzador, one of the players on the side of Fat Asgard, is actually a substitute player. And, well, you might have heard about him, because Calzador has played yesterday in the Division 6 Cup. He is particularly notable for having a 100% win rate Junkrat across 18 maps that Junkrat has been picked by him. So
that's a lot of games.
Those 3 bans in a row now, adding up to the 13 that he already has, suddenly start making a lot more sense to me. Meanwhile, what the hell happened here?
We do have the hammer ban coming up from Fat Asgard as Mighty Minami are banning out the Johannes. They this time do not have the first pick to pick her up, and Fat Asgard starts with the first pick, the Haka. Insane hero, by the way, and then we do see Xul Anduin as the answer from Mighty Minion Army, as Xul is the main hero for Korg. No pressure on him, but this is where he has to shine, and Anduin, just a very strong healer. While on the other side, we do see Brightwing and Hanzo being picked up. So with the Haka Brightwing, there's already a lot of pressure onto that Xul.
So Xul is not a hero that I have seen in my stats while I was researching Mighty Minion Army. Let me see, maybe if I scroll a bit further down, they will show up. And yes, indeed, 6 picks, 66% win rate, so 4 out of those 6 have been wins. And we have our third bans, and notice the focus on the rocks here from Mighty Minion Army, ban out the Johanna and the Merlin afterwards. So I'm actually not necessarily sure what great tanks are even left, because we have banned out all the tanks that we have seen.
Wait a second. The fist is open.
Wait a second, hold up. That's... Why? Oh no, no.
Okay, that's one of the heroes I like into Mephisto. Maybe they did learn out of the game. Anduin was
the theory is you just
charge.
The theory is you just cocoon the Mephisto, right? Or is there anything
he goes in and you cocoon him.
Okay.
And then he does not get ported back.
And we have the Greymane, so
one shot with Curse Bullet when he comes out, like Curse Bullet, Light Bomb.
I think with Nubrak, Xul, and Greymane, Mighty Minion Army are saying that, okay, to hell with it. We're just gonna go and we're just gonna kill your backline. There's a root, there's a follow-up on the root, there's a lot of damage from the Greymane, including a potential kill ability if you need to go for the throat. which not necessarily the option most
Oh.
picked, but
Oh,
an
it's
option.
not even the Mephisto coming out.
And the Garrosh, oof, the age-old Division 7 Stomper shows up in Division 5. That is potentially gonna be pretty scary. I think Anubarak is not that great of a hero into Garrosh.
No, he isn't. This is somewhat of a skill matchup. If Anup gets the engage on the Garrosh and his team has enough blow up, and with Raymain so far, and the Jaina now, they do
They finally
pretty
get the
much
chain
have
as well.
enough blow up to kill the Garrosh, but if Garrosh hits unstoppable fast enough, Anup burrows in and then he gets thrown and taunted and will just die because he's squishy as
I
a
mean,
beetle.
a cornered beast is the scariest, and here we see a completely different draft out of those two teams, so actually very interested to see how this ends up now.
Yeah, it feels like the roles are kind of reversed for this game. Because we this time do see on the side of Asgard the Hanzo Vala, which kind of compares to the Tychus Vala we had in game number 1 for Mighty Minion. And on the other side, we do have the Rayman Jaina, which do very well synergize. And especially we do have Korg finally on his Xul, so maybe he gets value out of his main hero.
Well, let's see. Up against the wall, 3 maps to win and not a chance to lose any longer. We do have Korg Van Right playing as Zul, Runfunk on Nubarak, Boba Fett picking up the Greymane, Fyrox on the Ending, and Omichaschu finally getting their Chaina through the bans for Mighty Minion Army in game number 3.
And on the right hand side in the reds, we do have a 2-0 lead for them, so they potentially might even close out the series here. Shiny Fair on the right wing. Dolikana on the Haka, go get lost. This time not on the mage, picking up the Vala. Kalsadar is up on Hanzo again. Alexander X playing the Garrosh.
Vala is a mage if you try hard enough, although not with that build.
Indeed, let's see. Dak already getting into the bush, gets a lick.
No, doesn't. Why would anyone even pick the Haka? Such a bad.
Oh,
wait a second!
The lick, and there we go. First blood.
Anubra leaves the bush, and Alexander seizes the moment, goes into it, goes out of it, finds the Chaina, and the rest of his team finds the chain as well. That's gonna be our first blood. Go get lost now. And rotating aggressively, and the rest of his team alongside as well, just trying to make sure that they can get as many early picks as possible. We were saying that Mighty Minion Army are the ones aggressive in those situations, but the potential of Garrosh is not to be underestimated. The roots, that's a lot of HP that a lot of damage that they had to put into the Garrosh, but the beast finally goes down. 1-1. Pretty explosive opener as well.
Indeed, in the meantime, to take a little damage up against the AK.
And both teams going for their siege camps. We do see Calzador rotating to the mid lane to try and help a little bit in the wave clear. How does the Haka actually feel on the double house?
He's doing fine. And after 13 he's a beast. But technically he should lose a little bit too.
In the meantime, in the bot lane, we do have both camps taken, and Mighty Minion Army have their camp first, so they have the initiative on the lane, but they don't seem to be showing for it, playing very careful around that Garrosh, because if you get thrown near the wall, chances are you're gonna get thrown over the wall, and then there's no way out.
Especially there's a right wing which just polymorphs you, so it's even hard for the Anup to burrow out afterwards.
That's just nightmare fuel. There's
some amount of the counter kill question mark? No, Alexander gets the self cleanse out to be able to step out of the blizzard there.
There is some amount of pretty questionable tier counterplay from the Nubrak in that you can spawn a beast, spawn a beetle, and then the beetle gets thrown instead of you.
Beetles do not get thrown.
No. Aww. See, even my theory crafting is wrong today, that's why I'm bad. Either way, Alexander gonna go for a very aggressive position here to try and fish for those kills as the first set of altars activates right now. Of course, the solo laners honor the age-old agreement to just trade while the rest of the action is happening in the mid section of the map. Runfang losing a lot of HP, but the shields and the heals will be enough.
Does not hit the tongue, but Anup goes down in the meantime to
Don't
the
Get
Vala.
Lost keeps on getting damage up and getting kills as well. Finding a pick on the tank here, pretty much securing the lead for Fat Asgard in the foreseeable future. 32 to 36. Still everything to play for, but the start is here, and the start is in the favor of the red team.
To have Daka suffering a little bit against Exul, his walls are starting to take some damage. Half a tower down on both lanes.
So what you're telling me is that Mighty Minion Army are winning macro in a third game in a row. Garrosh losing a lot of HP there, but both the self-unstoppable and the eventual heal from the Brightman is definitely enough to keep the Garrosh alive in case he gets cut out.
Yeah, they do need Curse Bullet to kill that Garrosh as well as Jaina needs her Fingers of Frost being completed.
Is Cursed Bullet really that great against the Garrosh? Because I think that Garrosh is not necessarily a tank that prefers hanging around on full HP often.
You still want to be full HP with him. He's tanky when he's low HP, but if you manage to burst through the first bits and then
The
get
throw
the Jaina
over the
damage
wall
in, it's...
and the polymorph followed by the pullout. Apologies.
Rise from the depths.
What? Both camps are tanking.
Single altar bot side. The Haka should have burrow up. Yes, he does. Brushstroke up. Yes, he does.
It's fine. Zul will stop him somehow. I know how, but somehow. Surely there must be a way. Or Zul can just mount up and
Zul can double
his mid lane.
soak. If Zul just keeps on double soaking, he might just get walls if his team manages to not die bot lane.
It seems like the Haka is not too keen on
Oh,
going to the bot lane, but now he is.
And
He's behind the
Zul
enemy
also
team and
joins
gets a drag on the healer. Zul is here as well, which means that no kills will be here for now. I'm saying here way too much, but the teamfight shall continue. Alexander X low on HP, Charlie Canna in the middle of the enemy team, but no deaths so far. A drag comes out on the Nubrak, and that finally gets a response. Garrosh swiftly traded out, and Brightman follows suit. Mighty Minion Army actually win a teamfight. For now, Go Get Lost goes in, finds a kill on the Greymane. Vala gets traded as a response. 3 for 2 right now, but the fight is still not over. The drag misses. The Haka burrows in. Firex tries to chase for... What? Why is Anduin trying to chase for kills? Either way, Mighty Minion Army seem to finally win an actual fight.
oh,
And win it they do, interrupting the blink
really-
in by the Brightwing to kill the Dihaka and pick up a kill on the hands afterwards.
really
That's-
good kill by Omega through there.
Straight up 5 kills by Mighty Minion Army in the fight.
Yeah, this gives them a lot of space on the map. Like, Soul is able to get the lanes cleared. They also got some damage bot lane, so the wall is gone now.
And the level 10s are coming out for both teams actually. What are your opinions on Zul's ultimates? I'm afraid I don't see him too often, so Skeletal Mages, is that the good one?
Yeah, both really. I would say they're both good. It just comes down, like, if you go for 20 and if you go W build, you should go Poison Over with the upgrade, because then you just send in your opponents for ages. But it's this game, it kind of feels like more they need a bit more help to lock down their opponents. This Anup is a great engager, but he sometimes needs a little bit of help. So getting the Skeletal Mages in to slow down their opponents, especially against the Vala, which just does a lot of walls, you know, and is quite annoying. It is really nice to get a few more lockdown tools to her.
And the other ultimate choice that surprises me is Dragon Strike, presumably to follow up on all of the stun locks that
Jaina
Asgard
gets
will
pulled
try
in,
to go
but
for.
it's pulled out.
And there it comes out, but everyone's not in it. Pyrox even manages to get out. Alexander X losing a lot of HP and actually his life in the end as well. Cholikana going through Mighty Minion Army, but not taking enough damage. The walls are almost traded in the bot lane, but Mighty Minion Army are slightly ahead, and with the ultras in 10 seconds time, I think they can just secures a lead for themselves in this game.
You can just fall back and let Xul rotate,
The altars have risen.
like, or at least clear the mid wave. I don't think you really have to pressure bottom too much here,
Is there-
but it's also fine if the way they did it. They did not
Is
lose
this the
anyway.
first-
It was a bit risky to step up bot line, as with the Haka track they might have lost Anub or something. There's
Is
still
this
a
the
lot of
first
damage.
time in 3 maps that Mighty Minion Army are actually ahead?
Oh no, they were ahead in game
I mean,
one.
Chachu gets taunted and jumped on, and there's a kill on Chain. Garrosh losing all of HP, but Brightwing comes through. The isolation misses completely, but the Cocoon comes out on the Brightwing, and it will not help the Nubrak as he falls down.
Don't know, Mighty Minions Army were in the lead in the first game after the first Punisher, but they already managed to take them top 4. Oh, I'm green, but a nice move. Keep him alive, especially getting double movement speed now. But now with 13, the Haka will be able to actually match the Xul.
There's all 13 movement speed, of course, and well, all of the movement speed upgrades, honestly, but they're just very helpful in dealing with Garrosh. Every little extra bit of speed helps so much against this fiend.
Indeed, it does.
You'd better hurry. The altars
Well,
rise again.
I mean,
Doubles also spawning in the bot side, both teams level 14.
and Zult actually rotating downwards. Let's see if anything will come out of it. The Haka going
Lot
down
of damage.
as well. There's the Elemental, and it looks like Mighty Minion Army are trying to fight. Skeletal Mages come out. There's a throw on the Zul, but it will not do much. The Light Bomb comes out, and the Stasis from the Jaina will help her survive the Dragon Strike. Everyone on Mighty Minion Army gets out with the Garrosh. That's what I
They
call
can
an
retake the
assassination.
The altars before.
And they even retake the fort. However, the objective is up right now, and they have a lot of people very low. So not sure if they want to pursue this fight right now, but they kinda have to because,
They
well,
have to-
objectives are up.
They have to give the bot altar, but they can definitely contest the mid lane as the members are
And
starting to
everyone
come
shows
back.
up. Omichachu, Ranfang are both here. The Haka burrows to try and avoid the damage.
Oh,
Brightwing goes
the
in and
Brightwing!
Brightwing goes out. That's gonna be a fly squash right here as Mighty Minion Army
Enough of this
trades those objectives and keeps their lead.
keeper's core.
It is always really scary as Raiden to teleport in if your opponents have a lockdown like the Jaina, like the Anub, and the burst damage with it. It's very catchy sometimes, and especially as the Haka pressed E and it didn't interrupt it. I'm still not sure when it does interrupt and when it does not. But it's the Raiden just got caught out in the middle of nowhere.
And
with
Mighty
no
Minion
one.
Army now getting the lead on the waves.
Haka is
They are trying
flanking.
to sneak. However, the Haka is here. The Haka goes in. There's a drag, but there's a root as well. The taunt comes out. A lot of damage done by Dragon Strike. And Anduin finally falls down. You can pull someone out if you're Zanduin, but if Zanduin gets caught out, no one will pull him out. The kills just keep rolling through afterwards. Go Get Lost trying to find Boba Fett, and he does. That's the 4th one this fight.
A lot of damage on him though from the Xul in return. I think also nearly died.
The killer instinct from Fat Asgard, man. They see a kill and they get 3. Every single time, man.
It's a
It's
teleport.
honestly just scary.
Brightwing keeping the Garrosh up and healthy.
The
This will be the bot keep gone again into the hands
has
of
destroyed a fort.
Fat Asgard.
And a pretty good time to take the fort as well, because
Heroes,
our
I
next
have opened
wave
a
of
tunnel
altars
near
will
our
feature
core that leads to
3,
the
which means that
battleground
every
center.
single time
Use it well.
that
What? I mean,
an altar is taken, this fort will be sorely missed by Mighty Minion Army and sorely welcomed. And surely welcomed by Fat Asgard. Brightwing stays bot as a global. She can definitely just pick up the ultra and TP back in to go for the fight. The Mighty Minion Army take the ultra on their side of the map, and Vala gets finally uncocooned. That Rain of
Bullet
Vengeance will solve the
misses.
potential engage, and Alexander goes in. There's a Dragon Ranfang. The Nubrak not feeling too great. The Light Bomb does not come off in the end. The long cooldown on this one. Boba Fett dives in, not sure why, only securing his death in the process. Very unfortunate for Mighty Minion army because now Fat Asgard are actually gonna straight up go for the boss after picking up that altar. That's gonna be 10 damage to 3 and add 4 more on top of that because the boss has just been taken.
14 health left on the side of Mighty Minion army.
However,
Getting level 17, Jane also now finished her quest, which will help her a lot with trying to burst down that garage.
And they're going in for the fight in the bot lane. Zul gonna get thrown in. There's the Dihaka as well. Rain of Vengeance gets everyone in the backline, but the drag misses. However, it's too late for Enduin anyway, as the healer hits the floor yet again. 9 to 15, a very bloody game and a lot more even than the last two, but well, at least in the kill component, but unfortunately still a decisive lead so far by Fat Asgard here. 21 to 14, that's 1/3 extra core health. 50% even, depending on how you measure it.
Indeed. Oh, Gersh going in again. This was for a throw. Did only get a minion. Taunts though, gets a lot of damage onto the Anub. Anub goes down as you can put onto Vala. But it is not enough.
The polymorph on Omichashu will almost secure a kill there, and it actually does. Go Get Lost goes in and finds 2 more people out of just straight up nowhere. I don't know how he keeps finding those kills, but he does. That's the most important part, and the more important part is the timing of those kills, because now the best Mighty Minion army can do is just retake that fort, but it won't necessarily even help. It just means that they lose 2 less damage out of 8. Well, 10 because Fat Asgard are going in for the mid towers there, and actually are delaying those altars as well. Alexander will finally channel his, because you can't delay for much longer because Mighty Minion army will fight you at some point. But
yeah, Mighty Minion army is about to respawn. Fyrox looking for a throw here, did not get it. Alexander stepping up very far with the garage, gets the taunt though, and Anub, and he gets wrecked in the dragon strike.
They get a kill!
Garage dies in return.
they get a kill. However, Nubrak has been very, very squishy this game so far, just getting blown up every single engage. Kind of sad, honestly, for the Beetle. Well, 21 to 5. You can't win by taking the boss, first of all, because the boss is not up for another 2 minutes, but also the boss only does 4 damage, and that's fixed. So we are stuck spending a little bit more time until at least the next objective. But Mighty Minion army are definitely up against the wall, and they need to clutch up and stop losing fights entirely and completely. Just don't make any more big mistakes. And House of Doom is such a map that allows you to make a comeback even from a situation like this, but it will definitely be very, very hard. The root on 2, but the cleanse immediately afterwards will help a lot with it. Dragon Strike will cut off Omichashu from the rest of the team, forcing Enduin to use a pull here.
Yeah, was
More
it
resources done.
really quick turnaround to kill the water elemental there on the side of the Asgard. If they don't kill the water
May just
elemental
come out, go
instantly-
get lost, gets rooted by the Zul. There's a root as well on Shiny Leafeon, and that's 2 kills for Mighty Minion army. Finally getting something for themselves. The Cocoon comes out on the garage, potentially a kill in the future, but for now they will just clear out the wave and try to get a kill on the garage. Yes, they will get it. Chasing further, the Dihaka is the next target. A lot of HP done to him, and there's a 4th. And now they even get a temple, and they send 5 shots into the core of Fat Asgard on their own. So slowly crawling back together, 50 seconds until the boss, but the boss does not end the game on its own. Fat Asgard needs to find an altar or something extra. And MMA actually going further, they're trying to pick up all 6 temples? All
They're at
6
least
towers?
going for another one, getting.
Well, that's gonna be 6 points of damage into the core once you capture the
They're also
altar,
walking towards
and-
top, and they have Anub, so they can technically just take it with Anub and Greymane.
But they aren't delaying, they aren't waiting for that extra point of damage into the core, because they know that once Pet Asgard respawns, they will try and interrupt, they will try and stop, and you just want to secure the damage while you have it, right?
Boss is up
So-
in 4 seconds. I feel like, do they have to take it?
6
think
points
they
of
have
damage
to, but
into the core,
they go,
and
they go.
now they send 1 point of damage into the core once every whatever amount of seconds, 10 I think. Either way, the core is bleeding, 12 points of HP on the clock when the clock stops. However, it's gonna get taken down to 8 as the boss has just been taken.
Indeed, they will also send a camp for top lane, so has to be careful in mid lane now.
I like Skeletal Mages to attempt to slow it down a little bit, but it won't change anything, and you might have needed it for a fight later on, so now that I'm thinking about it, not sure if that's necessarily the best usage. However, it seems like the teams are just gonna be waltzing around between those towers, just Mighty Minion army trying to take as many as they can, and Fat Asgard trying to fight back and secure as many of them in turn.
Indeed, the top will be retaken now by Fat Asgard, but
Ooh, and
do
that's a
what-
very good alter phase for both teams actually, but I think Mighty Minion Army will be happier with it because it does secure, well, it almost secures at least 1 altar for a team, and Mighty Minion Army are currently in the lead on the map. So
they also still have bot lane, so if they manage to, if they trade 1 for 1, it's gonna be...
is gonna start channeling, and Fat Asgard actually make a 4-man rotation there, trying to secure those 3 points of damage, leaving the core of MMA at 2. There goes the channel, and now the score is 3-2. It's going down to the wire on map number 3.
Oh, Dana gets...
Sadly a little bit too slow on the follow-up here, but could have been cool.
There's a camp on the bot lane now for the side of Mighty Minion's army.
If that
They will
camp
go
goes
down there, they
through,
will assist.
that will be a good game, because every single minion of the camp does 1 point of damage, and there are 3 of them, but the fight seems to be happening here. The cocoon on the garage will interrupt any potential engage that Fat Asgard wanted here. Skeletal Mages comes out, they are pulling all of the stops to ensure the passage of those minions. Alexander X losing all of his HP, there's a kill, there's a second one, Dihaka dies down as well. Is this it? Is this enough? No, the camp has been cleared out, but we are equal now at 2 points apiece.
And there's the Hakan Garrosh at the moment. So Mighty Minion army do have some time on them. They have Xul, they have Greymane, they have the Anumbarak, so they can just go and take another forward to
Bro,
visit
the core
opponent,
HP looks like
especially
this
mid lane
series
is-
score after game 4. What the hell? Either way, we do have another tower taken down. Go Get Lost doing a lot of damage still because, well,
It's,
he does. And there's a stun as well. Boba Fett losing a lot of HP, and he actually cannot tank it as much as Rangfang does. However, we do have our next altars, and one of them is in the bot lane, which means that the Mighty Minion army have a huge advantage here, because you have to move past the tower to even get to the altar. So
It
they
is
just
a
need
really
to...
good spot for them. Yes, the Haka will respawn. The Haka could potentially burrow in for the bot side.
So they just need to
Yes.
get one. The
Bird
team
in
that
from
gets
it.
an altar first wins this game. Shiny Leafeon losing a lot of HP and finally falls
done!
down. There's the interrupt on the bottom, however, but there is a shot. No, it's
Bottom
not. It's
went
slightly too
through,
slow.
Skorok had the balls and just kept on channeling, and it's GG as we go into game number 4.
Game number 4. Well, I mean, that's one way to shake up your strategy.
That is. That was a really, really good and close series. Game number 3 here. Whenever it goes down into single digits for both teams, it is a good game.
What a game. What a game. Have to point out that Go Get Lost this time around 14-5-3, so died more than once per game, which is already...
He had to get back from the Ming game, not dying in the Ming.
a good result, but also still leading in damage. What, 40,000 ahead of China? No, 34,000 ahead of China. What a game. And look at those XP soak numbers. Zul out soaking the Haka by 10,000.
Yeah, it's
See? We found the
That's like-
counter pick.
It like the thing is, Xul has a different impact if you compare it to the Haka. When you look at Xul, he has 15 kills, while the Haka has 16 assists. Like Xul has was part of 15 kills, while the Haka was part of 16 kills. Which is mostly because, like, usually with the Haka, what you do is you just burrow in the force 5v4 fights and get back to double soaking reasonably fast. And this is like the big strength of the Haka on this map. But this time, like the Xul was really good on, like, we have to shout out Korokja for a moment, but because he was really aware of those Haka burrows and was very close, usually when he burrowed in as well. So even if the last one or two heroes, usually or sometimes when he burrowed in, there was a Xul around to just drop in on those skeleton mages and try to go for the counter kills. Especially with the Jaina into the garage, you have some really good tools there for the side of Mighty Minion's army, and they use them very well.
Indeed. They were not able to blow up the garage in one fell swoop, however. Every single time garage seemed to be able to walk out, but with enough pressure, even garage cracks, even garage dies, and if you find the Brightwing behind the garage, then the fight is pretty much secured afterwards. Mighty Minion Army gets their first game, as we are now having Fat Asgard choose for the first time in this series to first pick or map pick.
Indeed.
And we have a map pick, and that's actually a very spicy meatball because I don't see it often, and I'm very interested to see how it plays out. We are going to Volskaya.
Indeed, for Asgard decided to go for map pick as, you know, they won a few times they had map pick and they lost the one time they had first pick, and they're just gonna, you know, just going back to how it was before.
Ah, home sweet home. Well, the teams are slowly filling the lobby, and well, Mighty Minion Army found at least a way to win games. I'm not sure if it's gonna end up being the way, as we are still to see the adaptation from Fat Asgard, but the Jaina came through in draft, and I think she will not moving forwards.
Especially when they look for Garrosh, Jaina is one of those picks which really is strong against it. Slowing them down is amazing.
The other fascinating things that happened in Mighty Minion Army's draft is they've chosen Zul instead of, I believe, Leoric, because Leoric has been chosen in the first two games, I think. And it seemed to do at least something here. Not sure how much Leoric would have done necessarily compared to Zul in game number 3, but
No.
as a caster, I have to point out the difference, and I have to ask, is Zul a good hero on Volskaya?
It is a bit wonky on Volskaya, because Volskaya also depends, like, you don't have, like, Zul excels at double soaking, and you usually do not have those double soaking moments on Volskaya Foundry. However, he is pretty decent, or pretty good at late game team fighting, especially the way we saw the build this time with skeleton mages on 10. He got a way to help your tank engage, to slow down the opponent, you know, lock them down a little bit, try to go for them. And then on 13 he had the Q, which spawns 2 additional Qs. On 16 the Qs also slowed, and on 20 those Qs reduced the healing by 75%, which is actually really big in those long going fights, which we saw in the last game a little bit of. And that was a really big part of the Brightwing not really being able anymore to heal up the Garrosh that much, because there was just the minus heal, especially also Garrosh self-healing, the Haka self-healing, so a lot of self-heal on the side of the front end for Asgard, and the minus 75 healing really is hard for them to deal with.
Sounds fair. Well, Volskaya Foundry is a very different game from last I've casted it much. I believe that the well changes have changed the strategy on the map a lot.
Yes.
How likely are the teams to go for those first objectives? Because I've heard rumors of people just not doing it at all.
It has become a threat to pick Zul'jin on this map. Give the first to Protector and have Zul'jin stack on the Protector. This is a
Sorry,
thing now,
what?
yes. But generally, I guess the best value you can get out of the first Protector is grabbing top wall, and then with the second Protector you try go and grab the top fort, I guess, if you get both of them. But in general, it's so like you try to go for 20. If you pick up Savannah, Zano, Bazaria, or something along those lines, you can maybe try to push in and, you know, try to get some early forts and snowball it a little bit, at least experience-wise. You will be ahead quite a while by the later stages of the game then, which is, I would say, the ideal way to play Volskaya Foundry, but you never know. You just pick Vikings and put 2 Vikings in the Protector and suddenly it's broken, maybe.
I mean, the one strategy that I've managed to get a glimpse of on Volskaya is taking the first Protector and sending it bot lane. And the theory is, with the first 2 Protectors, you're gonna be able to get the bot lane down and then you just do the snowball thing. Right?
Yeah, with the first Protector you prepare the bot lane, because the second one is bad and you don't get anything done with it anyways, and then the third one might be able to
Not
get
like
the
the-
fourth.
Wait,
And then
why
you
is the
go into
first one
the
better
Protector
than the
number
second one?
4. It is not better, it's just closer to the bot lane compared to the second one.
Oh.
Oh.
Savage. Well, the teams are slowly but surely getting ready. Fed Asgard do take a little bit of a moment to reflect on what has happened, because, well, let's be honest, it was a pretty dramatic swing by the side of Mighty Minion Army in game number 3, so let's see if anything will change, and if it will, and I mean, it will, how much of the draft will change, because I'm actually interested to see if it will be something drastic, maybe even more drastic than last game.
Indeed, let's see. Maybe we just have to pray to Lord Xul again to make another appearance. Alrighty, let's see. Everyone seems to be ready, so you heard in the background already, jump into the draft.
Well, a blue team has to ban first, and has to pick first. So, I'm gonna guess we're gonna see a Junkrat ban, because yes. And Mephisto, question mark? I think Mephisto is still pretty strong on Volskaya, right?
He's pretty insane on this map. Giving a few bits of insight into my team. Usually we tend to do well on Volskaya Foundry, and one of the reasons is we pick Mephisto, and Mephisto just wins the game for us on the map. So it's not even about like we have insane draft or something. The draft is usually like, there we go, pick Mephisto, and then tell us whatever to pick. But yeah,
Sounds about
Junkrat
right.
is banned again as the first ban by Mighty Minion Army.
And there's a variant again. Just not willing to give MMA their combo thing.
Indeed, banning out the variant again, just taking away a very comfortable combo of Mighty Minion Army. Let's see if we do see another hammer ban from them coming out potentially.
And there's a Blaze, so taking out a rock. A different rock from the last game, because I believe last game the Merdin was banned. Actually no, Johanna and then Merdin, so... But they do have a first pick, so they might potentially be looking at the Merdin for themselves. Who knows? I for one will be pretty interested to see it play out.
Let's see. Also, Blaze is a really good ban, as he just is Blaze. He's just a rock in the front line and annoying to deal with. And yeah, I mean, I get Lyric is good on this map anyways, so it doesn't matter if you have the
Nuvarak
Blaze
is
or not.
banned. They are going for a Mephisto, aren't they?
A Mighty Minion Army first pick Johanna 2 times. They lost 2 times with first pick Johanna. I'm not a
Surely
fan of
this
this.
time they will not lose. Copium. And
Just
there's
the
Mending.
Anduin.
And there's a Mephisto. No, that's Merlin. Right, Mephisto will be a last pick.
Yes.
Yes.
Do they pick Hammer now and ban the Mephisto?
Oh, if they pick a hammer, that would be cool. Is Hammer a hero on Volskaya?
Yeah. I mean, level 20 Hammer, come on. The German Panzer. He's rolling in, controlling the battlefield. But there
Please
we
do
go,
not use
Stixu.
that accent in my presence ever again. Thank you. Yeah,
Stixu
it's gonna
comes
be a
in.
Zul and it's gonna be a Jaina, so the Zul train keeps on rolling through.
I think you ban the Mephisto now if you're a Mighty Minion army. Like, you have to. Like, come on, guys.
I think you pick the Mephisto now if you're the fat Asgard team. Come on, you have to. I mean, Hammer, question mark? Still potentially a ban, but don't think that Zul is necessarily the big...
Oh, there's the
Never
Hammer
mind.
ban.
I'm smart! Look at me!
Come on, now, please. Mighty Minion army, remember. Do you remember?
They're gonna ban Zavala, aren't they? Actually, you can ban the Ming.
No, ban the Mephisto. Come on, guys, don't grieve now.
There's
You
a
have
Grey
come
Mane
so
who can...
far.
There's a Rainer that you can ban.
Yay! There we go. We might go into game number 5, guys. Mephisto is banned from Mighty Minion
And
army.
Zul is picked. So they've assembled the Exodia. There's a Zul, there's a Jaina, there's a Mephisto ban. You can win now.
They are allowed to win this video game. Anyway,
Will they?
next
Only
two,
time will tell.
next two picks for Asgard. There's the Sonya.
Haven't seen her in a while.
Vala getting picked up, and Asgard, they already have some pretty scary engage tools. They do have Light Bomb on Timur, who jumps in your face, and then there's also Sonya, who can also leap right in.
Yo, I like it when people jump, but I don't like it when they jump onto my backline. Because then the backline blames me for some reason, that's weird. Either way, Greymane is picked alongside a Rhaegar. The dog squad is let out. So, we shall see how Mighty Minion Army will use it, and if they will do it for good. Last hero left.
Greymane Rhaegar. I actually like Greymane Rhaegar into this.
I wanna color Hanzo, actually. For Kelzador here.
Ooh, Genju, Light Bomb.
And we
It
have
might get
seen that
spicy.
one, right?
It might
We
get
have
spicy
seen-
again.
We have seen Genji in draft once. I believe he was banned on map 1 or map 2, one of those.
Yes, he was
Genji
banned on map number 1, I believe.
Has been banned. I believe Genji is also one of the Kelzador things that Kelzador does.
Yeah, it's just the Calzador thing. He does those stuff, you know. But yeah, especially with the Unknown, I think he's definitely a really, really reasonable pick here. Sorry, with the
Why?
Undoing, he just puts the Light Bomb on Genji, Genji goes in, and there's Sonya with an additional stun, and Merlin can jump in with an additional stun, and meanwhile Vala has a lot of free space to actually go in and get some damage done while Genji gets the
Is
kills.
there a Chankrat Hanzo Genji player in Division 6? That sounds like a Division 1 hero pool. Either way, on the left, they've got one map, but 2 more to go and no chances to lose. Mighty Minion Army, Korg 1 Riot, and Splains of Zul, Run Funk is on the Johanna, Fyrox picking up the Rhaegar, Omichashus on the Jaina again, and Boba Fett is picking up Greymane for map number 4.
Indeed, and on the right side, they are trying to not get reverse sweep here at the moment. Fed Asgard, Jolly Cano on the Sonya, Calzador on the Genji, Go Get Lost, playing the Vala, Alexander on Murden, and Shiny Leafeon on the Anduin.
3-1 is the thing. Is the way launch games always end. It's always gonna be a 3-1. That's why I bet on Mighty Minion armies this game. Anyway, so a lot of
Sprays!
which is nice. Some of them animated, but I won't tell which. And the game is off. Calzador is gonna get rooted by the Zul, but there seems to be no follow-up, so he gets away with this one for now.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind on this map for everyone who forgot how to play it, because it's not an Storm call and people don't pick it. 1 minute you take the turret. If your opponent is slow on taking the turret, you go and take the heal item.
You go and take them. And the offlane is in the bot lane, because I have had the pleasure of playing with an offlaner who didn't know where the offlanes are on the maps. That was very confusing for a while. Either way, Fyrox is gonna jump on Calzador. Calzador loses no HP there. There comes the second dog.
He still has
and
his E up on Genji though, so he's
I
fine.
mean, yes, but the burst might come through, you know? You never know. Go get
The
lost, lose no
bite.
HP as well, and now... And Asgard not
Actually,
do great.
both teams so far kind of playing into the hands of Mighty Minion's army, as Soul was just able to pick up a mid wave, you know? A little bit of double soaking still on this map for his enjoyment of...
You've said 1 minute, right? The teams are about 40 seconds delayed, but they finally got there, and that's the spirit.
Yes.
Alexander X actually gonna rotate over here pretty aggressively, trying to catch the rotation out of the turret, but Mighty Minion army are smarter than that.
They also put Soul top lane for 1 wave. As spot lane is where the opponents are, you know, where they're hanging around.
Zul, I
if
believe,
he
is
goes
going
there,
for
might
the
be okay.
ancient dark art of double soaking top bot, which has always been a favorite strength of mine.
It's more like the art of I go where minions are and no opponents. I
Well,
only hit minions.
It makes sense for a member of a Mighty Minion army, to be honest. Calzador
Yes.
jumps in, still has the E, will use it.
We've redesigned our trigger protector for combat.
And yeah, the siege camp is taken by Fat Asgard, by the way, but it has been cooking this entire time.
Also,
Finally can-
one thing I was told, I was told once in a playoff cast actually, is that those chems, they scale the moment you start them. So those ones which were picked up by Fat Asgard have 1400 HP. Okay, that won't do it well. But like, if you start yours like a minute later, or if you take yours and just let it rest for a few minutes, it won't keep on scaling. It scales the moment you start hitting it.
There's the stun on Chashu, but the jump in will get interrupted. Alexander X loses not HP, and the pull will not save the Merlin. There come both the turrets. Boba Fett loses not HP, and Zul cheerfully pushing top. So, while this fight continues, as long as no people get lost, Mighty Minion army are gonna keep getting advantages. However, there comes the first kill. Johanna's dead. Cholikana loses not HP here, and on a sliver, but still alive. 40 HP right now. Ow. Almost got the win in the fight, but
Nope. But the
Mighty
top
Minion
wall is
army?
gone. That's like
Don't
the same
sweat it.
same value you get from the first protector.
yeah, they've got the walls, they've got the level 7, and they now get the initiative to pick up the turret and the objective itself. So they get the dubious honor of taking down a wall somewhere. Except, well,
Indeed.
they've taken down a wall already, so...
If this goes to a game 5, I'm gonna expect Soulbend. I'm gonna call it now.
So they have to ban Zul, Hammer, and Variant. That sounds like a lot of bans.
I guess one of them is gonna get left open. They also did they Hammer this time? Yeah, they banned it as a third one, so.
And look at that Mighty Minion army going a little
Oh,
bit back.
on them.
Johanna staying on the point, and they get the turret again, getting them an advantage in this team fight. Elzador on the sidelines doing a lot of damage. Alexander losing a lot of HP here, but Mighty Minion army for themselves seem to be quite okay until the Johanna just decides to die. Pyrox falling down low as well, and Calzador will use the reset to dive back out. Jaina gonna get jumped on by Sonya, and once Fat Asgard get an advantage, they just straight up kill everyone. This is not fair.
3 kills for Fat Asgard. You see Soul trying to catch up on wave stoke again, you know, then make sure your team is not falling too far behind. It's the full Storm League experience. You just soak and try to keep same XP because your team keeps on dying.
I would
Ah,
call
come
it the
on.
caster's curse, but I don't think it would act up that quickly. That was immediate. As soon as I say that they are fine, 3 people die. And now they're going in again, just trying to not to deny the protector. And let's see. Go
Kill.
get lost, loses his alive. We do have the Sonya spinning. Kelzador finds a pick. Both. No, a healer is dead on the side of MMA, which means that their health bars will be lost. But Sonya's dead, and they can keep just killing people. If they keep killing people, then they win the fight. That's how fights work. Kelzador dives in, jumps back out, and Shining Leafy and full HP on the point. Seems like they've gotten it.
On the other hand, I'm not even sure if Mighty Minion Army wants this protector, because if they get it, the Vala might just be able to get quite some stacks.
Alexander losing a lot of HP here, but not quite enough.
Level 10 is in now for both teams in a moment, as Mighty Minions Army just a level behind in XP. Light Bomb, Avatar, Ray of Vengeance, X-Strike, and the Leap for Fed Asgard.
Blast Shield, Water Elemental, Poison Nova finally coming through. Cursed Bullet, and we surely will have Ancestral Heal. Yes, indeed. Vala gets blown up in the meantime. Hold up.
I got 10, I kill you. Come here, bro.
Alexander, half HP, but gets out, and Mighty Minion Army find Jolie kind of forces Sonya to use the
Take
leap.
the
That
camp.
is a very good trade for them, because their backline now is just a little bit safer for the next minute or so, allowing them to pick up the turret.
Yeah, it's a really nice engage by Rundfunk. Hitting 10, picking Blessed Shield. You know, there's Vala. Here, take this to your head, and now they can even go for this heal camp. Okay, no, they trade.
Is a
the heal for
turret
two
better
turrets.
than the heal, or
No, but two turrets are.
good point?
It is. Volskaya has a very weird mechanic with those, like, very weird play of mind when you think about it, because one turret is kind of weak, but as soon as you get 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 or goddamn 5 turrets, if a Merlin jumps into you, he's just dying to the turrets alone if you place them all. Well, on the other side, if you have the healing item, the healing does not stack, so one healing item is usually not, like, one healing item and 4 turrets, I think, is like the main or the preferred way of having
Blast
it.
Shield comes off, but they don't get a follow-up on Kelzador. The protection comes off, and the Genku is out. Meanwhile, a wall in the bot lane is lost by Fed Asgard, so Mighty Minion Army are doing their macro things. There's the leaps, there's the light bombs, there's the damage. Jaina's dead already. Boba Fett not having any HP will fall down next. Fyrox seemingly the next target, but Rhaegar actually seems to last quite a bit longer than I would have expected. Finally dies again. And Zul gets stunned. Will he be? No, he will not be able to get out.
It's just this way of Fed Asgard being able to force the fight, especially Blessed Shield was down, so there was no way of countering it from the side of Mighty Minion's army. But this way of pulling the trigger and leaping, light bombing into the opponents is really hard to deal with for Mighty Minion's army.
Yeah, the go kill button is very solid for at Asgard. And well, so far they have been very good in their usage of the go kill button, if the first 2 games are anything to go by. The next objective is gonna spawn in the top lane in 20 seconds. There's a camp pushing down on the wall, and Fat Asgard are recalling to try and set up for that point.
Indeed.
Access terminal online. Secure it to activate
I mean,
the protector.
every ultimate on the side of Fat Asgard is up, so they can't just do the whole thing again, because why not? It sounds fun and it gets you kills, and kills get you wins, as everyone always seems to say in my Storm League games. Well, the point is taken by... No, not even yet. Ronfong joins in on the last second to contest. Denies the percentages going up. Finally, it will get captured by Fat Asgard, who are forced to move slightly back in lane. As MMA are trying to collect on Alexander, there's gonna be a root interrupting the jumps. The damage is here. The Kelzador dives in. The leap follow-up is here. Greymane falls down. The Poison Nova does get a poison on a lot of people, but it will not save Johanna from dying. And Nomi Chashu is way too far to stay alive here.
Yeah, that's we press the kill button, we kill.
Asgard I've been saying this for like 3 maps in a row already, so you might get bored of it, but it doesn't become untrue if I keep saying it. They see an inch, they take a mile. Every single kill, I don't think they've taken a single kill in any fight. If they get a kill, they take like 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. They just don't take single ones, they always follow up with another one. And that's actually pretty insane to
Destroy
me.
the fort.
We do have, I think we need level 16 and... Oh, Soul is in a lot of trouble. Yeah, he's dead.
He's not fine. The robot has been taken.
Taken control of
There's a
the
Genji in the robot. And honestly, what is a robot if not a fat Genji? He dives into the backline, he does damage. That's basically Genji. Even better, does siege damage as well. I'll get lost, taking a chunk out of round funk, and that's blast shield out. That blast shield out. Red alert, kill button available.
Indeed, the protector just going to the bot lane, also able to finish up the second fort. Quite a lot of value out of the second protector.
red team has destroyed the fort.
And you were saying it's useless.
It was useful because they killed Soul before.
Ay. There's the light bombs, there's the stun! The ice block unfortunately cancelled a little bit too early. If it's cancelled half a second too later, I think you don't get stunned by the light bomb and you don't get killed by the rest with a follow-up. I mean, you do get killed by the rest with a follow-up, but light bomb misses.
Test concluded.
Oh well.
Now, we'll make
Yeah, with that kill, they also take away the turret camp now.
5 seconds until the blast shield is up. And Mighty Minion army are semi-safe for the next period of time.
Also do see the heal camp about to be taken by Asgard. They're really starting to take all items now and get the edge for the next team right there.
MMA are moving bot side, but we can see the decision making in real time as they realize that their opponents are probably gonna move there as well, and you don't really want to take that fight. Well, they seem to be going for that fight anyway, trying to blow up Alexander. There's the jump in, there's the kill button being pressed. Fyrax losing all of HP, but Vala is the first death actually. Might Minion army seem to have survived this. Avatar gets pressed, but Anduin and Murdin will fall down both. Kel'Thuzad jumps back out and stays alive, but Mighty Minion army finally find a way to turn it around.
Yeah, this time Sonya was not around to help out with the leap engage. Therefore Rhaegar was able to move away in time and stay alive while the team turned on Vala, as it was up a very close choke point, and Jaina Johanna just came from the top side and killed the Vala.
And Mighty Minion army are going for a kill shot of their own, Mighty Minion army styles. That is not focusing on the people at all, just focusing on the structures. The keep is at half HP and will steadily, surely fall down right about now.
team has destroyed the fort.
Yeah, it's the first keep of the game actually going into the hands of Mighty Minion army, which opens up a potential end for them if they manage to secure 3 kills or something.
And a little bit of a turret as a treat. But there is a camp pushing up top, which they might need to defuse, and by that time the rest of Fat Asgard have respawned and are ready to brawl. The kill button is ready. Only 10 seconds until the avatar, but who cares about avatar?
Yeah,
It's the kill button, not the survive button, you know?
Now it's very important for the side of Mighty Minion army to play it slow, hit level 20. They see the opponent's bot, they will come to top now. Now you fall back and you don't
And
fight
they
them.
mount up and they go back. Pretty cool.
No.
However, Kel'Thuzad is here already, and Alexander gonna get condemned. There's the light bomb, but it misses. Blast shield misses as well. However, Alexander gets rooted here and pulled out, and we have
Pause
a
coming in. This is like a really bad time.
And the Mighty Minion army
For a
members
pause.
are not happy.
Understandable,
no.
so.
What a moment to pause. That's insane. So Alexander has paused the game. And yeah, now we figure out what the hell happens.
Indeed. Let's see. I mean, the light bomb engage was unsuccessful, so light bomb is out. Xul is not in the best spot at the moment. So he will be fine though, as everyone is focusing on the Merlin who got curse
Merlin
bulleted, but will
jumped into the wall, lost half HP, and now we have a pause. And the reason for a pause is a freeze mid-air, which fair. I mean, I don't think it justifies it, but look, a pause is a pause. You can't argue about it. I think the technical issues are currently resolved, I believe. So we shall get back to the team fight. 1 second.
All right.
That means
We are jumping back into the game. Just a few moments. I guess.
And Murden gets pulled back, but there's a jump on Korg 1 Riot. Zul stays alive so far, and so does the Murden. Runfang loses a lot of HP, and there's the leap! Pyrax is alive, but the Johanna is dead. Get Lost is traded for it. 1-for-1 so far. Chachu trying to find a kill on the Murden. Murden jumps out on a little bit of a sliver of HP. And, well, I mean, MMA have taken that fight pretty well. They don't have 20s, and they only traded 1-for-1 after all.
Twitch chat being like, they look up Reddit how to counter Xul. Yeah,
well, I mean,
even without 20, they were still able to like be even in this fight, and the main point where Johanna was actually starting to get in trouble was when the leap came in and actually 2 people dropped low, but there was like 100 HP left on 2 members, else the reset would have just killed like most of the team if Genji would have gotten a reset there.
Action is about to happen. MMA seem to be leading for now. I'm not sure what for.
MMA is missing the like. They need Johanna to be the front line to like start stepping up, look at
That's
something,
fair.
and so it's
because Johanna has like the only response they have to the kill button, right?
Yeah, really, indeed. Like if Skrull steps up alone, he's just gonna die.
However, that's a pretty smart move by MMA. They are just gonna go up and pick up the support camp because they can't fight on the objective, and the thing is literally up there. You just have to go and pick it up. So they go, they get it. Kelzador is gonna secure some vision for the team, and notice that Fat Asgard are not on the point themselves either. So a little bit of time wasted for them that could have potentially been used later on. And well, the teams are slowly filtering in. Fat Asgard have left the point and are gonna go for the turret because the turret is up, and I mean, might as well get the turret. And MMA are trying to chase. MMA are gonna try and fight for it? Question mark. Alexander. He's alone. He's rooted. There's the cursed bullet. There's the avatar.
Has to pop the avatar.
Well.
It also needs to get pulled out, so it's 2 long cooldowns used. And does not have another pole.
Is out of resources pretty much, I think.
Xul is up again in a moment.
So a pretty good engage by MMA, but not a fight win yet. The jump is potentially here. There's the jump, there's a kill button. A lot of damage is done. Jin is dead. And Murdin is dead as well as a trade. Everyone gets healed by the ancestral heal in level 20. That's a very nice response to the kill button, honestly. Because, well, resets, you just get 4 full HP targets as Sonya gets killed, and if the kill button is not there, I think we have Mighty Minion Army just straight up winning an honest fight. So, that is what they do.
We do see a 3-for-2 trade in favor for Mighty Minion Army here. They're looking to take the Protect and potentially end the game with it.
Game number 5.
Yeah, I mean the Jaina kill was a little bit unfortunate as it was just a few frames left for Ancestral to go through and get
I mean,
Jaina
at least
some more
they've got
HP
one
back,
kill
and then
out
she
of
would
that
have
whole engage, right?
survived for a little bit longer and would have been able to just pop the ice block again. And she has been very, very good with those ice blocks so far.
Taken control of a
Well, I mean,
protector.
at 35 seconds on the robot, Boba Fett's the only one not in it. Jaina's coming out from base, and Fett Asgard are having
Oh,
3
Boba.
people, so might as well just engage past the robot, and Alexander does not connect the light bomb. Go get lost, losing a lot of HP here, but gonna get saved in the end, and MMA just continue on pushing, but they haven't done any structure damage yet.
Ooh, there
The
was
robot-
up to mid lane actually, which is a fine choice.
I mean, it's
Ending.
not a I win game option, but it is an option that's safer, which I think is the main reasoning here. The leap comes through, the stuns come through, the stasis is here as well, and they will get a kill on the Jaina,
Oh,
but
subdue completed.
let's go!
But yeah, Jaina, Ghost Sonic, and Rhaegar was inside the protector and therefore unable to jump out.
But like,
It's
Johanna
a string of
was
the
not
moment.
with the rest of the team, so you have to go for the safest option available, considering Johanna is your only
Oh,
quick response.
Vala gets taken down by the Punisher. And Genji actually
Uh,
drops very low as well.
Man, the
Yes.
Protector is doing the weirdest thing. I swear, this is the most Russian thing that I know, taking a thing, calling it a Protector and sending it to attack someone. Anyway, we do have the fight continuing onwards. Shalikana is gonna spin around and get out. So Vala seems to be the only trade kill here, and there's... the only siege damage done is at fort, so a very lousy Protector for MMA. However,
There's also the top keep falling to catapult in the meantime.
Blue team has
this
taken
stun
the
will
fort.
pick up a kill, but yeah, the top keep is not feeling too great. However,
Their shield is up again. Oh,
Alexander
Muradin.
gets cut out. There's the light bomb, there's a stun on the Boba Fett, but the lead target is a miss. And the X-Strike resets are coming through, but there's not enough of them to pick up any kills here. And MMA have survived another one of those.
Indeed, yeah, with Vala down, it is really hard for Fed Asgard, and Vala is still like one of the biggest forces there.
The other thing is both of those big haymakers at the start of the fight, which ironically do not include haymaker, thank you, have been used on different targets. The light bomb has connected in one part of the fight, and the leap has been used on a different part of the fight, so you don't get the stun and the damage from both, which has been a big part of the block combos that Asgard have been using so far.
They pick up their turret. Everything except Avatar is back up in a few seconds. The team's just trading the turret for now. And then we will see. Looking for another fight. Next Protector will be in the mid lane. DPT for Fauna with the top key being very low on the side of Mighty Minion's army. That's definitely also a win condition for the side of that Asgard.
Indeed. And that's the problem with Infernal Shrines, right? You get at the first game of the set and you can't stop saying Punishers for every single thing. That's why I suggest we ban it out next season. Either way, we do have both sides converging on the top side, and Alexandra is already in a bush. Kelsador gonna scout out Ranfang, as Mighty Minion army are trying to set up some sort of push on that keep, or something like that.
Just call everything Punisher from now on. The Spider Punisher on Tomb. The Immortal Punisher on Battlefield.
Well, I mean, they have first picked the Punisher Mighty Minion army, so I wouldn't be that surprised. However, they haven't picked the Punisher ultimate, so that's a little bit unfortunate. The Punisher ultimate is picked by the Sonya though, so there is something. It's just like everything is circles, everything is Punishers. You're right.
It's plus shield technically a circle because she throws a circle which stuns.
I think we should talk about the game. The control point is gonna unlock in 14 seconds. And there's a support camp in 50, but I don't think either side will be waiting that long. So Mighty Minion army just gonna keep on clearing waves. They have to keep clearing waves in the top lane because it will get pushed in favor of Fat Asgard, I believe.
Joe, it's even.
And
Oh,
the
again!
stun of Kelsador, is that Is this a kill? No,
Oh, he gets extra out. Counter
and there's a
engage.
kill button. Is it enough? It does not seem to be. Raker's dead. Raker's dead and Zul is dead, and I think that Mighty Minion Army may have just thrown their chances away. Murden is
Murden
killed.
goes down. But actually, Jaina.
Jaina's
Oh.
doing a lot of damage, but the water elemental
Look at this
or ice
shield.
elemental finally dead, and Fat
That was-
Asgard are moving
I mean-
back. They're moving back from 2 damage dealers who don't have a heal, who don't have a tank, and who don't even have cooldowns, really.
Yeah, level 20 water elemental is
Disgusting.
insane. Like, she went also for the root. Ooh, that might be...
Oh, no.
Run!
Ah,
Okay, okay, okay.
it
Mighty
was a
Minions
cheeky
are
little
still
play
in
by
it.
Mighty Minion Army, but they got cut out. And a pretty nice catch by Fat Asgard, just noticing that, like, what would our opponents do? And, I mean, yes, there is this free turret over there. Let us pick it up while
Technically
Our
got another
opponent.
chance of fighting.
our busy with an objective.
Genji is soloing the heal camp, question mark?
I mean, Genji is a damage dealer, the heal camp is a healer, so should be easy. Okay, that's not fair.
Heal
You're
over
helping
damage
him.
confirmed.
This is not supposed to. Genji's a
This
cheater.
is not how you're supposed to play the game.
You're supposed to 1v1. They don't respect the 1v1. What the hell is this? And well, everyone's back up. All of the buttons are back up. Let's see if this fight will result in everything. Because if MMA loses fight, the objective is taken and sent straight into the core. There's the light bombs.
There's
There's
the
a
light
stun. It hits on 3. There's a leap. Raider does not
Doesn't get
connect with the
through.
ancestral kill.
But
There's
the
a kill on the
turnaround!
Raider, but
The turnaround!
Heroes
the
Two for
damage
two
from
trade.
the Jaina's, the damage from the poison, no, but this is just savage.
This is
Sonya's
bad.
dead, Gengu's dead, Murden's gonna get rooted, and there's nothing Andy can do except maybe actually take the robots that can just be sent into the base of their opponents to base
Oh.
race. But now everyone is moving in the direction.
blue team has
Why is
taken
everyone
control
backing
of
off?
protector.
What the hell?
41,000. Protector needs to defend as well. 41,000 HP on that thing.
This is the first time I've seen a protector actually defend anything in this video game, as in Heroes of the Storm.
Actually
What the hell?
protecting us the protector. Okay, wait.
This is not Russian at all. Well, I mean, Chashu doing whatever damage they can do. I'm not sure that Ice Block was necessarily the most needed button, but look, might as well.
I mean, the protector can do surprisingly a lot of damage.
Destroy the whole
Yes, but you need that button to survive the other buttons.
Protector is not going for it. Oh.
So, okay,
Oh boys, come on, settle in. It's another
How-
5 minutes on this story.
how does the game evolve, right? So we've started off by Fat Asgard having a kill button, to which MMA have responded by Blast Shield, to which Fat Asgard have responded by killing anyway, before the Blast Shield actually connects, to which MMA have responded with a ancestral healing on 20, healing everyone. And now the response is to just kill the Rhaegar before he gets the ancestral heal, but the answer is to kill everyone with the Zul and the Jaina before the resets go through? How many levels of combo are we on right now, my dude?
I don't know at this point. We might go so long that we have to move Division 4 finals by a few minutes.
Oh no.
If we go for Cursed Hollow or Sky Temple, Sky Temple usually not. Sky Temple ends at some point, you know. Some temple will finally end the game, but Cursed Hollow might also go for ages.
I respect you thinking about the potential game 5, but there's still a game 4 we need to play, right? 28 minutes on
Indeed.
Volskaya. Mighty Minion Army are a little bit split, which concerned me for a second here, but it appears that Fat Asgard were not able to assemble a force strong enough to strike while their opponents are split and around. Well, let's see. Support camp is here, and we do have Fat Asgard trying to take it. Mighty Minion Army do not want that to happen. So now everyone's just standing around and the support camp is healing to full. Good. What is this game?
It's Volskaya, 29 minutes, let's go!
Let's go.
No one inside.
This
Oh, come on.
is strangely fascinating in a calm before the storm way.
Oh, actually they're taking it now as in trade-off for the siege camp, the healing camp.
Well, are they taking it or are they losing the game right
Oh,
now? That's the
actually,
question.
healing camp taken, but they're...
The healing camp is stolen by Ranfang, but there's a kill button, and the ancestral heal comes through, but Greymin still dies. The Sonya is half HP. Go Get Lost is free to do damage, but Sonya finally dies, and that's a 1-for-1 in the end.
All items used again on both teams, by the way.
Man, that healing camp actually did quite a good job, but it did quite a good job for Mighty Minion army because Ranfang stole it and used it immediately to save his team from the kill button.
He sadly placed a little bit too far away. If it would have been a bit closer to the
This almost saved Greymin as well.
Might have. Oh, especially the ancestral went through the first one, but you know it's another 1.5 seconds for the second
now,
one, and this was.
I'm honestly unsure because Mighty Minion army should be able to win the fight without the kill button, right? The honest fight.
Yes. Especially if Blaze Shield is back up again, but so is the light bomb, so you have to be careful.
But if they go in, if they start fighting, there's a chance that they might not retreat before the kill button is up again, and then the kill button wins. So the best option is to stay safe, but then we're back to that neutral moment, where a fight is just gonna happen at some point in the future.
Yeah, I guess this protector is not advantageous for Mighty Minion's army, because if they wank around top side, the bot lane potentially ends in favor for them. Or when for that Asgard has to send them on bottom, they can engage top.
And look at the teams, they are just 5-manning because everyone is afraid to be alone. Because the first catch just wins the game for the teams that catches someone. Unless there's a follow-up and it turns into a big fight and it turns into a big mess. Fat Asgard currently are mad winning because they got both the turrets here. I think what Mighty Minion army could have done is just pushed a bit further and actually
take the keep.
Done some damage to the keep. Yes, just a touch, a gentle breeze.
The catapult is on the bot lane, is on the core, and no one is looking to defend it, and those catapults
there's a wave. They have distracted themselves.
Yeah, but the next catapult is also coming.
On the Zul. Jaina is still on the point. MMA are slightly split, but Jaina's not the person that they need to defend from the combo. I mean, kinda by doing damage,
Jaina,
but look.
Jaina has been so far really, I think she only got hit once, or maybe twice by the light bomb or the leap, because she has been very, very good on point with the how's it called?
And there's Ice Elemental. And there's
look at Anduin!
The Minion. There's the damage on the Anduin. Anduin is dead. That's a very good start for the side of Mighty Minion army, but they might have been more than they could have tuned. Johanna's dead as well.
No
Sonya's
way.
being the trade right now. Kel'Thuzor is very low, but fight is over.
And the catapults are heading away on the bottom.
It's not like the core has taken any permanent damage.
I mean, it's like, boop! It's 6% with a single catapult shot.
So what you're saying is that Mighty Minion army just have to do it 6 more times? Murdin jumps in, there's a protect on the Genji.
It's a 3v4.
Genji jumps
Genji
in,
goes
X-Strike
in.
is used, and is this
Genji
enough?
goes
Genji
down.
dies. Is this game 5? This is game 5. This should be game 5. Vala's dead,
game
and
5.
Murdin should be dead as well. The GG is called, but the core is like still 85% HP. You need to waste another minute to end. You can't press forfeit. However,
Protector
despite-
is up. Genji and Vala are dead. This should be game. Jaina is already starting to step up into the core.
despite all odds, despite all of the kill buttons, the protector is gonna get taken, and it's not even gonna get to the core in time.
It doesn't reach the core. 33, the time of Volskaya. Game number 5. Here we go.
For some reason, a game that ended on 33-33 is game 4. My OCD is acting up, sorry. Well, that was a game. of Heroes of the Storm that I've just watched. Wow.
Whew. Alrighty. 17:29. We're 30 minutes until the four finals. Come on, guys. Speed it up a little bit. Here we go.
What do you mean speed it up? That was the best game we've seen so far.
Ooh, I mean, the first two games seemed pretty stumpy by Feraska, but then Mighty Minions Army, they are turning it around. Let's go reverse sweep, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
Question mark, explanation mark, and the question mark. Oof.
Ooh.
I'm
Game
bursting
number
with
5.
excitement.
Now the game number 5 is actually the point where people start getting tired. You will see those mistakes just from being tired happening and
So-
happening. And
The issue is, Fat Asgard are now making the choice between the first pick and the map pick. The two maps left, Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple. Doesn't seem too great for a team that relies on team fights.
indeed. But I mean, I guess. I mean, you mentioned earlier that Fat Asgard won on Sky Temple when they first met during the regular season.
Indeed. They've played 3 maps. They've played Ultrak, which Fat Asgard have won. They've played Volskaya, which Mighty Minion Army have won. And then they've played Sky Temple, which Fat Asgard have won as the last map of the series.
Alright, will
So-
it be Sky Temple again? The Soundtrack Pass is banned down. It was we just saw for 35
We've just played
minutes.
Volskaya, and it was a banger. And I will not allow you to slander that game in any way, shape, or form. First
It was
pick is
it was
chosen by
great.
Fat Asgard.
I'm not gonna lie, it was great. It was just very long and tiring. Alright, but yeah, first pick has been chosen by Fat Asgard. So, Mighty Minions Army, which map will be the final map for this series? Will it be Cursed Hollow? Will it be Sky Temple? Which is the map where you attempt the dream for the reverse sweep?
And we have it. Our final map will be Cursed Hollow. So Sky Temple is sent into the Forever Box. And the Raven Lord will be our guest for the next 30 minutes or so. 40 minutes? Question mark?
Sky Temple, sorry, Cursed Hollow could go long? Question mark. But yeah. Let's see, as we are preparing now in the lobby, soon to go into the game. Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. The lobby is already made. We are currently waiting on people. Because, well, for how long we have been casting, that is hour 3.5? No, that's
2.5
hour
hours.
2.5. So, people might be needing, like, a break. For one reason or the other. So, yeah. I'm actually pretty scared for Fat Asgard now, because, well, you have lost 2 games in a row, and the
Yeah.
last one has been... And both of them have been rather backbreaking, because you could have won both of them, but you just stumbled. Stumbled and not even across the finish line, just in front of it. And now it's game 5. Now you're feeling the pressure. Now you're the one without the moment. 1 game away from losing it all.
Any Xul banners?
Any Jaina banners in the chat?
I mean, I have to agree. Jaina, especially with level 20, was insane in this game. She got so much value. Whenever
So
they
we have-
jumped in, they got the kill on Greyman and Drake, and then Jaina and Xul just kind of single-handedly turned it around with the help of Blessed Shield.
So we have Jaina, Zul, Hammer bans on the right. Oh, and Varian too. That's,
True.
That's more than 3. Hold up.
But Asgard, what will you ban?
Oh no.
Oh god. Whew.
Well, let's figure it out. On the left, it's probably gonna be Junkrat and possibly a Mephisto, question mark? We haven't seen the Mephisto recently, so maybe they leave it through for map number 5 as a
after,
treat.
after game 1, please don't. It's the reverse sweep dream. Don't give Fed Asgard their most comfortable heroes, and they can deal with Jojo. Wait, they banned Jojo on the map where they had the first pick.
Yes,
where Fed
indeed.
Asgard had the first pick. So let's see if they will ban
mean-
the Jojo again, and what will be the other ban? Mephisto should be the third ban. Let's see.
Here we go.
Varen keeps on getting banned out. Rundfunk, you are not allowed to go live with that on the radio.
Oh lord, oh lord, oh lordy. Why is this such a tense series out of nowhere?
Actually, I guess Jojo and Junkrat are the bans for Mighty Minion Zombie then?
Should be. But
There we
the
go,
other way around,
Junkrat
because
comes
they
in.
banned Junkrat first. Because there is still a chance that the other team might ban Johanna, but there's no chance that they ban Junkrat, you know?
Maybe? I think Velasco would pick her up by themselves.
Oh, see? Told ya. And now
Jojo ban actually.
they can ban Mephisto, they can ban one of the bricks that they have been banning, so either one of the Blaze and the Merdin. Both of them can be pretty
If
solid.
you ban the Blaze, I would assume that Velasco would highly prioritize the Garrosh. Sorry, if you ban the Merlin, Velasco will pick up the Garrosh.
Well...
Yes. I don't think they first pick. They should first pick Blaze, right?
First pick Blaze sounds whack.
Yeah, true. The Haka is open. Cursed Hollow is a big map. Globals are helpful. Let's go the Haka.
First pick Zul? Question mark? Just straight up send it. Zul Jaina? You don't care about
Falstad. Actually, now if they pick up Garrosh now, it's really good for Fed Asgard.
Yeah, Anubrak is not that great into Garrosh as we have seen earlier. But I like the Falstad. I think.
I mean,
Falstad's pretty
they
solid.
still won that game, no? Wasn't it?
I mean,
Tawas?
yes, but
They just have to bring him back lower.
don't forget that it's instead of the Anubraks, they could have picked Zul, they could have picked Jaina, you know? All of the fun ones.
Tychus.
Wait, we've seen Tychus once. He lost that game. Horribly lost that game, as a matter of fact.
Let's see. With the Garrosh, it's a really good pickup. Like Garrosh, if Anup goes in, you just throw Q him, and then Tychus kills with the trade.
Well, there's
Ming, but
Mephisto
actually
open,
not
Mephisto open, Mephisto open, Mephisto open. Mephisto watch.
I guess Cursed Hollow.
And now
Cursed
they ban
Hollow is
Zul,
still a fine
and now they ban Zul, and there goes your reverse sweep.
Will it be? No, it's actually a hammer ban.
That is fair. So both
already-
sides get
do
most
s-
of their funny toys.
We do see the Anup already picked up a Mighty Minion army, and this was in another series, in another game, already the reason for Feraskat not picking up the Mephisto in the end.
That's
We
fair.
also have the light bomb this time onto Mighty Minion army, and they pick up the Exul as well. So
And
so
you
both sets of
also
last pick,
you also
they-
get the pull out from the Garish's grasp
Yes,
from the
this is-
Haka tongue. That's actually a pretty important pick here.
Indeed. Let's see. Last two picks for Feraskat. Will they bring back the Mephisto? Ooh, it's Alex Straza. We saw it man against her on the Founders Shrines already. And it's
Eh.
Anzo, actually. No Mephisto coming in.
I mean, we've seen Hanzo with Dragon Strike. I do not necessarily
Yes, the
recall the
Jaina.
map. It has been a long day, but I think as Hollow works better for the Dragon Strikes than the
Yes,
other
it
map
does.
where we have seen it. Taos, I think? Not sure. And well, Jaina on the last pick. Jaina's all open, a Mephisto not picked, a Mighty Minion army have gotten. That's why I bet on for Fat Asgard.
Indeed. Let's see how it goes as we go into the 5th and final map in a moment. What a final already this has been, and yeah. Afterwards, we will not have, sadly, don't have too much time to talk to the winner of this amazing series.
To be honest, I think the winner of this series will not want to talk too much either, because they will be exhausted and sleeping. Either
Indeed.
way, let us,
Prepare
for the
yourself for
last
battle.
time today, let me introduce a team to you. And that team will actually be a Mighty Minion army. Why am I kidding? I have been doing this the entire day. Omichastru is playing on the Jaina, Fyrox on Endin, Run-Funk on Anub Arak. Boba Fett playing as the Falset, and Korg 1 Riot picking Zul yet again. One game left.
Battle begins.
It's your last shot.
10 seconds.
Let's see if they make it count for game number 5.
And to the right side in the red, we do have Fat Asgard, Shiny Leafeon on the Electros, a Calcador on Heike, Alexander X on the Garrosh, Jolly Kana on the Haka, and go and get lost on the Hanzo. Let's give it up. Fat Asgard!
So, there's no kill button, which is
I mean, it
An
might be an
adaptation.
arrow and the throw for Garrosh, you know, it's decent kill buttons there.
Is arrow into throw really a kill button?
It's not as explosive as Light Bomb Leap, but it is a kill button.
Fair enough. I'm gonna say that I think not having Haymaker was just lacking that little extra bit of spice that did not allow Fat Asgard to blow up any targets. But I'm just a Division Soundcaster, please do not listen to me. Either way, teams are gonna be rotating around. There's a 4-man rotation with Zul actually playing to his strength and leaving Falstad the global in the offlane. I kinda like that idea.
Indeed, Foster bot lane really nice into the Hakas. Easily kite him, but has to be careful if there's a tongue. There's a way!
And the wheel
Oh,
out of the
Insu gets thrown
there's
in.
throw, there's a shield, will it be enough? It seems
Yes.
to be with the grenade. Picking up the kill. While both sides are gonna go and secure the Bruise Gun for themselves, Mighty Minion army slightly ahead on that one. But Fat Asgard got themselves a kill. Who would have guessed Mighty Minion army are ahead on macro and Fat Asgard are winning the fights? Never seen that before.
Alright, let's see. The mid camp is already starting to do some HP. Hanzo is there to defend it. Like Straza, meanwhile, starting the siege camp all by herself for the side of Fat Asgard is. Yeah, like Straza is one of those healers which actually do have a little bit of wave clear and camp clear with her E.
Don't try this at home, kids.
We usually want to have the Hanzo at it as well, but the Straza is actually doing fine.
Well, one blizzard is enough to clear out
Gather
Bruiser camp
trigger.
seemingly.
And then
Here as Mighty Minion army get through this one and another very
Garrosh, another stun, and the blizzard comes in. Just a lot of damage onto that Garrosh. He has to be careful.
another classic macro thing. We do have the first objective spawning in the top lane, so the team on the left, the one that has its siege camp pushing down top lane, takes it slightly earlier to be able to push with it before the objective, while the team who has it in the bottom lane and will therefore be able to distract from this camp with an objective is gonna take it as late as possible. But Falstad being the global can just stay and defend it for a bit before flying into the action. But on the other hand, the Haka uses this time to pick up Soak in the mid lane, so there are trade-offs everywhere.
Indeed, we do also. Yeah, Darkheart joining already gets a lick onto
And
Anu.
the,
Oh,
and the E out! Wait, that E actually was a pretty amusing one. Because he got pulled back, and he was clicking on a position on the map, he still eats to that position on the map, which, because of the drag, was in to the enemy team. Meanwhile, Falstad gets tongued and killed. So, Fat Asgard picking up kills, who would have guessed? And the first objective.
Asgard looking pretty strong for now. But level 10 is where it will come in for the side of the Mighty Minions army again. The gas, the light bomb, Dana with the water elemental. Horn as well was a really big tool for them.
Monka Giga. All I'm waiting for is for Epic Mount on level 20 with Falstad just backdooring the core. That sounds like a most Mighty Minion army way to finish the set.
Or face my curse. The choice is simple.
Just a straight up no frills backdoor attempt while the rest of the team dies for v5. Eyes Way, the tribute is spawning in on the blue side of the map, but in the middle. So, let's see, 10 seconds left until it actually shows up. The Haka's up in the top lane, but I believe has the global to join up with the rest of the team as soon as possible.
Indeed.
There's
Stepping up a little bit.
Bull seems to be alive. A very nice blizzard to cut off both the Alexstrasza and the
Daka
Hands of Zaire.
in is going for a lick, Connexul, the pull is there though. Dragon
And the
has
dragon
been
is also
used.
there, zoning off the enemy team. There's gonna be a nice stun. Throws the dragon in the engage that you always wanted. Anduin dies, ran over by the Dihaka. And let's see how much they will try to delay, if they will even. Boba Fett was the first one, but it doesn't even connect while Zul dies in the bot lane. Oof!
Anup is porting back, staying alive. Strong experience lead at the moment for Fed Asgard, getting some really nice kills into the
They are
hands so
5
far.
kills to 0, of course they have a level lead. No matter how much you soak in this game, you will not be able to outsoak 5 kills at 6 minutes into the game.
Well, have you seen me play Stormblade?
Yes! There's no way 5 kills will outsoak. Level 10s are in here, and with level 10 comes the
Odin?
boss attempt. Odin indeed. There's also a Dragon Arrow.
Lifebinder, Isolation, and Garrosh not picked that, but it
Decimate,
should
Pog.
be,
Wobbling.
should be Tom.
Ah.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh well.
Earn my
Warlord's challenge is going to be our last ultimate for Fat Asgard. Well, we have the boss taken, we have the boss moving down the top side, which means that the red side is moving downside to pick up the boss to push down on the downside. And there's the drag on the Jaina, while the follow-up is not here because of a
thrown
frozen.
in.
Throw back in is gonna help a little bit. Jaina finally dies, but that has been a lot of resources used by both sides, and Jaina being the only kill here is actually pretty solid for MMA considering Falstad was not in the fight this entire time defending the top lane. Only the wall is dead and just like half of it as well. And now they're taking the curse? Hold up. This should not be happening. And indeed it does not.
They get another boss, but this potentially opens up another try for Mighty Minion army.
That will be the curse. That will be the
Yeah,
curse.
okay. They don't.
So
They will get a curse in the boss, which is huge value for the bot lane. So this fort is like 100% gone.
well, let's see if Falstad is pushing down on the top lane during the curse, so phased. In the meantime, Dihaka defending the mid lane and then going up to top lane to pick up some XP and actually kill the camp. Meanwhile, the team takes down the fort, probably gonna try and see if they can find something with the keep, knowing that their opponents are kind of split throughout the map, with Zul picking up the soak in the mid lane.
Falstad gets tanked in the top. But okay, it's fine.
Falstad getting tanked in the top lane and stuff. And yes, indeed, Odin is stressed that they're looking for the wall.
You should be keep. Just look at this boss, how much health he has. It's
Should it? Asgard don't seem like they want it to be.
yeah, they seem to fall back actually. Oh, the root on 2.
And the throw, and the arrow, everything on different
The
targets.
boss
But there's a
stun!
stun by the boss! The boss follow-up is so
Oh,
insane,
yeah,
I'm actually
yeah.
coughing. Anduin is killed. And the curse is over. 7-0 in kill department, 6-5 in terms of the keeps and forts, but the fort is gonna fall down in the top lane soon enough, so keep in the bot lane is not feeling too healthy, although it will survive for now. Boba Fett is not feeling too good, but nothing a sip from a well will not fix.
And yeah, let's see. The hacker keeps on pressuring top side. Mid. Oh, Two gets haunted. Gets the root out. No self-cleanse onto the Garrosh, and Garrosh goes down.
Is Zul being taunted that much of a deal, so all he's doing is auto-attacking you with a W, no?
Not really, like if he has a W active, it's fine, especially if Tychus has to be in range to auto attack, so if he tries to go for minigunning him, he gets the attack speed slow from full W.
I learned today that there's a separate icon for a water elemental on the minimap, but unfortunately it's gone now, so...
Yes,
oh well,
there is.
you leave, you learn. There's a siege camp picked up by both sides of the map actually, but... let's see, actually picking up a fort in the top side, so Mighty Minion army have some play in them as well, just trading 1-for-1, and...
Yeah, it's technically even in terms of forts.
it's even, they can pull through. Hope you.
Starker is moving back to the bot lane. Foster is taking care of the lane bot.
I mean, that's
Which
sad.
is... like, where the lane is right now is not a good spot for the Arca, because there are no bushes nearby.
Gathers enough tribute to
Boss
the
plus Curse should have been a kill shot, and it seems like Fat Asgard have missed it. I think that the chances of the blue side will improve drastically if they are able to get to level 20. So the fact that Asgard did not go for a kill might
flies in as well.
actually be one of the deciding factors. Ooh, a Cocoon on the Dihaka over here, and Alexander lose no HP. In the meantime, Light Bomb does not connect with anything but Dihaka burrows anyway, only to get stunned afterwards. A lot of damage onto the Dihaka. Odin is pressed to retaliate, and the tribute in the top lane is seen here ignored.
Bot lane camp
Well-
has been defended though by Mighty Minions army. Well, on the other side, for against Fed Asgard, we do have the siege camp still on the top lane running around.
Indeed. Well, Odin will put up an entertaining display to interrupt and entertain any party goers of Mighty Minion army.
Oh.
Borglon Riot gonna get taunted, gonna get very low on HP, but alive until he's not. Alexander not having HP at all. Calzador not feeling too healthy either. The second one will die, but the first one stays alive for now. Boba Fett is here to find an interrupt potentially, but it seems like Fat Asgard are in control currently. Cholikana looking for a drag yet again. There's a throw, there's a move back. The
turnaround.
burrows. The Get Lost gets thrown in. Cholikana gets ulted on by the Johannes. Lightbomb comes through. The stun on the Hanzo. Is it enough? It's not. Cocoon comes out on the Alexstrasza. Narrow misses. And Mighty Minion
Double
army
and triple.
somehow won that fight. There's 3 kills, there's a 4th. And it's also extremely staggered because Takas has only just came back to life. Ooh, what the hell?
Indeed, and now we do see the top boss being taken. The camp on top side did not get too much value for Mighty Minion army.
gathered tribute.
I mean, some value is better than no value, especially considering that you can't heal buildings. There's only one hero in the game that can do that, and Abathur is not a hero that received pick.
Top lane now is starting to get pushed in, and
The one
Guess
silver
it's-
lining for Fat Asgard is the fact that they have taken a tribute. So it's 4-0 right now, about to be 4-1 as they have to defend the boss, surely. I'm surprised that Mighty Minion army are not doing more with that boss. But
they're taking
maybe
the
they...
objective. They're starting to pressure mid lane a little bit. They have to defend bottom. I guess they can also
Yeah,
go and
maybe
take
they
down
are
the
just
camps.
gonna go pick up some forts for themselves, or just some camps, or just the bottom boss, or just, I don't know, XP.
I think it's safer to just pick up XP, take the camps, you know, fix the map instead of pushing with the bots.
Yeah.
Take away the big push thing for your opponents, which they could get, and just start putting on the map, start getting even on the map more again, and pick up some XP to get closer to level 20. And
Man,
now there might
Valley
be a
is
showdown around
so
this boss.
underrated. And well, he's gonna face check. He's not gonna face check, but it was pretty close to it. Forward one right, gonna get stunned by an arrow. Everything connects this time around. The dragon got interrupted. The dragon animation at least. There's a move on the Garrosh anyway. The cocoon comes out on the Alexstrasza and no one seems to care.
Drag!
The stasis, however, Jaina stays alive for a little bit more, but the dragon comes out and Fat Asgard won this fight. I think that they should have taken the boss while they had a chance instead of picking up random XP on the map. I don't know. It's less safe, but it is denying your opponent's resources, as you have said.
Wind has been used, everything is on cooldown at the moment.
And the tribute is spawning in 2 or
This
1.
will be a bot keep?
I mean, it has to be, right? Surely, at the second boss, at least the keep has to fall, right?
I mean, the keep is gone. The question is how far do they go? How far do they want to go?
And how far can they go?
Has destroyed.
Is also a question.
We now need a kill for the side of...
Keeps guns attacks out. There's a bunch of stuns, and Zu is dead. There's a gust in, but I'm not sure that helps Mighty Minion army or Fat Asgard. However, Alexstrasza is dead, and so is the Garrosh. The Tychus is cocoon, so there potentially is a fourth.
You have to hit the boss now, guys!
A kill on the Dihaka, the boss is on half HP, the shielding is gone, however, and
they will stay alive!
So are hands on Tychus.
They will stay alive, and the dream of the reverse sweep. They will pick up the top tribute.
77% on the core, so red team just needs to do it 4 more times. Mighty Minion army gonna pick up that tribute. You do not wanna miss any, because any tribute taken by your opponent is a curse, and probably also a game, unless they all die somehow. And then they just set up a push on the mid lane, because you need to get those keeps down, you know?
Yeah, they have beetles, they're pushing in the mid. Quite interesting to see mid being the choice for the lane of the push or open the wall.
I mean, you're either going mid or top, because you don't really want to push into the fort, right? Because you can push into the fort in neutral as well, but you have the advantage, so you have to play around your advantage somehow. And top lane is pushing as is by waves, just straight up, and it's not like Fat Asgard are paying it too much notice. Look, the wall is gone already, and that's without any input from the side of the players themselves.
Let's see. The bot board is now under pressure, and this will at least somewhat help out with in the long run, as there will be a catapult every third wave for Mighty Minion's army now.
And level 20 comes through for both teams now. We have all of that.
Traitor King, actually.
Hmm?
The Traitor King for Anubarak. Getting a bit more health, getting some spell armor, and also getting an active for even more armor.
If Anub Arak manages to press active armor before he gets sent for a fun ride with Mr. Garrosh's wild ride, he could be huge, because
he's unkillable at the moment.
Alexander having no HP at all. Garrosh is dead, away from the rest of the teams. Alexstrasza ult comes through, and the Haka will stay alive for now, but the Tychus is dead. The
Gust!
Mighty Gust! Ooh, the wind tunnel comes through. There's 2 more kills for MMA, and that should be enough to pick up the curse, and that should be enough to end the game. Surely.
Indeed. To have them taking down the keep.
Fat Asgard, sadly, very much out of deed. Go get lost, right? Well played in the chat, as Ceres will end up in a reverse sweep. Congratulations to Mighty Minion army. It turns out that having Zul and Jaina 3 games in a row who somehow allows you to win games. Wow.
Indeed, reverse sweep as Mighty Minion army managed to win game number 5.
Indeed. So, how much time do we get to actually talk with the teams? Like 1 minute, right? Because the
Wait,
next
1
series
minute,
is
5
supposed to start right about
minutes.
now.
Alrighty, but with that, yes, let's see if we can get them in.
Actually.
Alrighty.
So,
let's see.
the team has said yes to an interview because, well, everyone does. Might as well. And let's see.
Alrighty, then I will start getting people in here. As here they come. There we go. Welcome, mighty Minion army.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Hello there.
Sam.
Congratulations to winning Division 5.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
thank you very much. Was a very hard piece of work.
It's been a long time running, isn't it?
Indeed. We don't have a lot of time, sadly. I would love to stay around and chat a bit, but there was our waiting in Division 4. But first of all, a little word, as usually, sadly, that this time Cosmic does not have time for one of his legendary interviews, so all you've got a good get is me, so haha, I guess. But yeah, thank you all for participating. Thanks also to the other team for Asgard. It was an amazing series to cast for me now, and I think everyone to watch also really enjoyed it. I just did your nodding as well in the cam, so thank you everyone. Also thanks for everyone in the background, Isaac for running the moderation, and Eric's coordinating the moderators there. And so yeah, you have won a bunch of medals. You might have seen them in another stream. I sadly
Not
do
these things. The
do
other
not have
ones, the
a
metal
picture
ones.
around, so sadly I cannot show you them. But Cosmic or someone else from Lounge Board, Cosmic, Tiny, or maybe someone of the board members will get in touch with you about the addresses, where to send them. Maybe just send it to one, and this person just splits it up about the others, or just send it to each individual. So thank you all. And now to the interview. Yeah.
So you've actually lost in the regular season to Fat Asgard. What changed?
What we did right this time, we scouted them out a bit more, and we actually talked about how we lost the first two games, that they had these engagey comps with Mirrodin and Blaze, and that they just took out our backline. And I think we adapted quite fine to that with our bans and our playstyle in the remaining 3 matches. So I think we just had a better time fighting them, and we just were smarter about it.
Just looking at the Volskaya game specifically, because Volskaya is notoriously a really long map, and it just showed again. Did you, going into it, and especially in the later stages of the game, how did you feel about them having such a heavy blow-up combo and just one-shotting you in some team fights?
Yeah, I think we started off pretty bad and really got hit by a lot of combos from the Genji Light Bomb. It's really dangerous if you clump out, obviously. But I think the longer the game went, we managed to evade it better and better and adapted a little bit to it. And we know that our team, we had quite strong level 20 power levels. So I think in the late game, our team comp is really strong. and we managed to engage the enemy instead of being engaged, which is I think a big difference then, because they got a little bit confused and didn't hit the combo as well anymore as before.
Indeed, they also got. I mean, especially like it was game 4. People probably got tired at some point.
Sorry for that.
But you also won game number 5, which was also another banger. Like I have to say, game number 1 and 2, I was a little bit disappointed, but the Xul came in, the Jaina came in, they stopped banning them, and
So,
yeah, congratulations. In the end,
the next question is, why is Zul more OP than Dihaka? Asked for no reason at all.
I mean, I wouldn't say that Zul was the only reason why we won, but like the level 20 heal reduction did really much in most team fights. But yeah, overall, everyone got his time to shine in the last 3 maps, so it's all good.
all right, and just as before we give you the moment for shoutouts, at the start you did not even think you would make it into the playoffs, and now you won it. You did it. How is the feeling now?
I mean, it was even more dramatic, right? At first we were seated into Division 6, and then we somehow got reseated to Division 5, and then somehow we got as a side character into the playoffs because someone else didn't play. Yeah, it's kind of a outsider story, right?
Yeah,
Sure, go ahead.
it's a great feeling that we actually made it, because after round 10, when we lost to Sloth Highlords, we were pretty sure that we just go on to vacation and don't play in the playoffs. And then we got pinged that we would actually be qualified, that we are actually qualified, and then we were a bit hyped and had to look around how to actually play the matches, that we get everyone together, because the final was actually the only game where we could choose who to field in our match, and in the quarterfinal we had to play with a sub, so it was a really tight thing to actually play all these 3 matches. But it all worked out, and it feels really great. And now this is our, I think, 9th season in Heroes Lounge. We're playing continuously from season 10, and it's great that we actually now have won a season where we've worked so hard for. I think it's 3 years now that we've been playing with Lounge, and it's a great thing to have this semi-professional gameplay next to Storm League, which is sometimes just playing for fun and trolling around. But this here, this is really something serious, and thank you very much to you and all of the sloths and the team for making it possible that Lounge is still up and running.
Yes. All right. Thank you then for joining us for the interview. Any last shoutouts you want to do before we sadly have to send you off, as Division 4 is waiting?
Yeah, of course, shout out to Marilyn, Schröer and Scrat, the other team members that could not play today. You were also an essential part of us moving up to the Division 5 Cup and making it to the grand final and winning it. So shout out to you 3. And
Seele for subbing once.
And Seele for subbing in the quarterfinals. Shout out to him too.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Josh, for joining me. Any last words from you?
I mean, nothing really. Just have fun out there. It is mandatory after all.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much, Josh. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you all for
Goodbye, guys.
joining, and see you in a few minutes, as me and Josh will have to leave, as we will go over to Kix and Tas joining in for the final series of the day, as Division 4 is coming up in a few moments between Not Stonks Esports and Bakbufu. Bye bye.
Bye.